It's time for the best sports talk show out. Point of View. Hosted by Johnny M. and Rush Life on King of Sound Radio. You ready? Let's go. Johnny M. Rush Life.
You only have 2 shots at beating them. They look absolutely sensational. I don't even know if they're being coached. Woo! They look absolutely sensational.
Point of View. Yeah. It's the best sports talk show out there right now. It's Point of View. I'm your host, Rush Life, and I'm here with my man, Johnny M. What's up, Johnny? How are you?
I'm great. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, all right. So this is the first day of our sports talk show right now. Point of View. How are you feeling about today? Today's monumental day, Johnny.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be it's a great show. I hope everybody follows us every week, and we're going to be talking about the most important sports topics. And, of course, we're going to share our opinions.
That's right. We're going to share our opinions. And, we're going to debate some things. We're going to, have different views on some things. And we're going to get into the topics that you, the people, want to talk about.
That's right. No sugarcoating here. No, none of that.
Definitely no sugarcoating. What we going to talk about first, Johnny?
All right, let's start with, since this become a national news, let's start with Ronda Rousey. How about that?
Okay, I'm down with the Ronda Rousey thing. So let's play you a clip of what Ronda Rousey, when she went on the Ellen DeGeneres show and started her crying outtakes. Let's take a listen to what Ronda Rousey had to say on Ellen.
Did you worry for a minute? Like, could this be permanent? Did I really hurt myself and maybe I won't do this again?
No, to be honest, like what I was thinking, honestly, my thought, I was in the medical room, and I was down in the corner. I was sitting in the corner, and I was like, what am I anymore if I'm not this? And I was literally sitting there and thinking about killing myself. And that exact second, I'm like, I'm nothing. I'm like, what do I do anymore? And no one gives a shit about me anymore without this. And then, to be honest, I looked up and I saw my man, Travis, was standing there, and I was looked up at him, and I was just like, I need to have his babies. I need to stay alive. That was
You need to stay alive.
And I hadn't told anybody that. I think I only told him that. But that was what I was thinking. I was meant to have him when I was at my lowest, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I...
Well, that was Ronda Rousey crying on live TV to America. What do you think about that, Johnny?
You know what? During that whole interview, right?
Uh-huh.
This is what I'm doing right now. You see what I'm doing? I'm just shaking my head in disbelief because this girl is unbelievable.
Right. No doubt. Yeah. What is your take? You say she's unbelievable. I don't mess with Ronda Rousey. She popped all that trash to Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
And now she's coming on TV and she crying because she lost a fight. I want to kill myself.
Hold on a minute. She's supposed to be the best woman fighter in history, and
False. Yes.
How come every expert say that she is?
Did they not see Muhammad Ali's daughter?
What about that? Who's that?
Layla Ali.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Undefeated. That's the best female fighter.
But she's a boxer though. She's not an MMA fighter.
Yes. Hold on. We have a caller. Let's take this caller and see what they talking about live on the air. Right. Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah. This Rich Holland, Lion City. What's going on, Russ?
Hey, what's up, Rich? What's your take on this whole Ronda Rousey thing?
Man, I don't know, man. I think that the media is making a little extra. I don't think she's really trying to think she's going to kill her. She just knew it was the end of that point of her career, Now she's ready to go and get it in and have some babies and live life, I don't think she's trying to kill herself, but You know how the media always blows it out of proportion.
So wait. You telling me I'm blowing this out of proportion?
I honestly do, because I don't think she was saying she was trying to kill herself. She was just saying that her life was over as she knew it, because she wasn't going to be able to go out there and be this undefeated glory king anymore. You know, nobody was going to want to put her at the top for a fight anymore, you know?
What do you think about this, Johnny M?
Well, personally, I think this is all just a publicity stunt, right? She's into movies now. I mean, she has appearance on TV shows and all that. I think this is all part of her plan. I'm not buying all her crying crap. What do you think?
I agree. She's crying on live television. Like, how many opportunities she gonna get that opportunity? You know how many women was like, "Oh, Ronda Rousey," and all the guys are like, "Wow, she's crying."
Whoa! Wait a minute now.
You know, come on.
Wait a minute. Some of our listeners may think that you're heartless here.
Well, let me chime in.
Okay.
Listen, they may think I'm heartless, but I'm about to keep it all the way 100 with the listeners. Now, we have Rich Holland. Where you from again, Rich?
I'm from Burlington, but I'm in AC right now, calling that AC, baby.
All right, so you repping that AC. So check this out. This is how we about to do this, Johnny. My name's Rushlight. I'm from the hood, right?
Okay.
And from what Rich said, he from Atlantic City, so you from the hood too. Now,
No doubt.
number one hood rule when you was coming up from your mom, your grandmom, your dad, or whoever in the house, they always told you, if somebody beat you up, don't come in this house crying, or they gonna beat you up, meaning your mom or your dad is gonna beat you up for coming in the house crying. You better get back out there and fight, or they gonna beat you. Your mom's gonna beat you, correct?
True.
So the same rules apply to Ronda Rousey. If she was my mom's child and she came in crying because Holly Holm just knocked her ass out and she get on TV crying, my mom will whip her ass again for crying.
All right. What about her excuse, right? She said she fought 3 fights in 9 months. What about that? Are you buying that excuse?
I ain't buying that excuse. She talked all that trash to Floyd Mayweather. Then she got on national TV, got her ass whooped. And then she get on Ellen and start crying. This is unacceptable behavior if you're a fighter.
Yeah, I'm not a big Floyd Mayweather fan, but Ronda Rousey was very adamant that she was going to knock Floyd out. What do you think about that?
We see what would have happened to her. She would have actually tried that fight. She would have got knocked the one out.
Word. Well, we about to take another caller. Rich, I appreciate you calling in and you know, giving us your take on it.
You know, before Rich went on the air, right, he said that he... All right, Rich said before he went on the air, he said he was a self-proclaimed NBA expert.
Definitely. Anything you want to know, anything you want to talk about,
listen,
I got NBA expert for you.
Well, we going to come back to you, Rich. We going to take another caller about this Ronda Rousey thing, all right? Hello, next caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Mike MC. I'm calling from Pleasantville, New Jersey. I've come in from Philadelphia, but I'm in Pleasantville, New Jersey right now.
So Mike MC from Pleasantville, New Jersey. Give us your take on this Ronda Rousey situation that we having right now.
Well, first of all, Ronda Rousey is a good fighter, number one. Number two, I heard somebody mention the fact that she had 3 fights in 90 days, okay? That's on her. Congratulations. Not a problem with that. And my thing is this. You should have seen this fight coming. You should have trained harder. You should have studied the tape. This girl is a female boxer. She's a professional. All right, she takes no for an answer,
right.
Number one, okay? You get into a ring with a girl like this, you got to keep your guard up. You got to watch her movement. She did not watch her movement. The girl spun her around. She spun around. She kicked the skin literally off her forehead,
right?
Okay? She goes down to the ground. She gets pummeled, and then she gets back up. She loses the fight. Now, Ronda Rousey, on the other hand, you got to take no for an answer sometimes. Sometimes you cannot win every fight. What you do, you go out there, you train harder, you bounce back, and you definitely sign for a rematch. You should definitely sign for a rematch to show the people that, number one, you fear no one. Number two, I can fight with the best of them. And number three, I can take this female down.
Now,
all right, you don't get on national TV like on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Ellen, to be honest with you, Ellen has no sympathy for you. Number one. Okay, she put you on the show so you can speak. Okay, it's a female thing. You bond. Okay, fine. In the real world, you're a fighter. You're a professional fighter. You got to stand professional, okay? You lose a fight, you get back up and you fight again. You don't start crying and talk about killing yourself and stuff like that. Social media is going to eat that up, okay, fine. But at the end of the day, you have to sleep with what you just said.
So let me ask you this,
okay?
Mike.
And at the end of the and behind every dark night is a brighter day. You get up the next day, you regroup, you get yourself together. Now, she's got movie deals and stuff going on right now. She's doing commercials and stuff. Okay, Nike has an endorsement with her, I believe. Under Armour, I think. She has a lot of stuff going for her right now. But to stop fighting right now would be, to me, if I was Ronda Rousey, I would fight this young lady again, just to show the world that I am not afraid to get back into the ring with the best.
All right, hold on, Mike. John, give us what you was about to say. Go ahead.
No, I was about to ask Mike if he believes all this Ronda Rousey and crying, if it's real or is it just like a publicity stunt or
the Ronda Rousey situation was number one. It was a publicity stunt. I mean, you get on national TV and you say those things so that people can have sympathy for you. You didn't have sympathy for nobody when you was ice grilling everybody before the fight. When they say shake hands and come out fighting, you wasn't touching gloves with nobody. You staring everybody in the face like they just took your bubble gum or something. All right? Now, that young lady kicked the skin off your forehead. She took your bubble gum in the ring that day. You got nothing to say about that. And let me remind the people, if you look at the fight before it started, one more time, Ronda Rousey is looking at you in the face like you're a punk.
Like you're a punk.
Shake hands with you. Okay, she didn't want to shake hands with her opponent.
yeah, giving the girl the finger and stuff
and
like
her
that.
opponent didn't say anything. She went out there and she fought a good fight and she won. All right? The best woman won the fight, okay? It was somebody that was willing to take on the challenge, somebody that signed the contract, and somebody that put their life on the line. That lady put her life on the line and she won the fight. And Ronda Rousey should get no sympathy from nobody because all she does is ice grill people and she treats everybody like they're a bag of potato chips. Who's the bag of potato chips now?
That was Mike from Pleasantville, New Jersey. We appreciate you calling in. We gonna holler back at you though, Mike. Let's chop this up some more, John.
You guys have a good day. Thank you.
You too.
That's a great take from Mike. I love that take. What do you think, Rush?
Yeah, that was some good stuff. I respect what he said, man. You can't get on TV boo-hooing and you crying. You gonna kill yourself because you lost a fight. Evidently, you must ain't had no fights when you was a little kid. That's what that's telling me.
Okay, I'm just gonna zipper my mouth and let's move on. What's the next topic here?
Word. But who's Pacquiao's fight about to come up? He's about to fight soon. Who's he about to fight?
Oh yeah, he's supposed to be fighting Timothy Bradley. According to Rich, my man, he said that Timothy Bradley is basically a neutron head. He called Timothy Bradley.
Let's see if Rich is back. Rich, are you back? Are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah, Rich. So what was that again on Timothy Bradley, Manny Pacquiao?
Oh, he's about to fight Jimmy Neutron, man. I just got the biggest head in the league.
Yeah, what about that first? What about that first fight?
100 times in the head, it won't phase him.
Right.
What about that first fight when Manny Pacquiao supposedly lost to Timothy Bradley? I mean, you saw that fight, Rich. What's your opinion?
Come on, Timothy Bradley didn't even believe that he won the fight himself.
Hell
the ref put his arm up. The ref put his arm up, and he looked like, what? Me?
Yeah, Timothy Bradley's going to get killed. Manny Pacquiao just might kill Timothy Bradley in this fight. You got to think about it. The first time they fought, Pacquiao got robbed. Then now he's going through this whole gay comments thing, and he lost his deal with Nike. So when he fights Timothy Bradley, he might murder Timothy Bradley in that ring.
I agree.
I feel sorry for Timothy Bradley.
He's going to ruin Timothy Bradley's career in this fight.
Yes.
You guys better stop it right now. Timothy Bradley have Teddy Atlas in his corner now. You know what I mean?
Who?
Teddy Atlas, the ESPN specialist.
Listen, I don't care who he got in the corner. He ain't in the ring with him. He's outside of the ring. He ain't taking the punches he about to take.
This is the trainer for Mike Tyson back in the days. Do you remember that?
Okay, but again, I say he wasn't in the ring with Tyson when Buster Douglas knocked him out.
No.
Come on, that's a whole nother conversation.
No.
Stop it right there.
Buster Douglas did not knock him
No. Y'all missing what I'm saying.
Did not.
John said, my man Johnny M, he said Teddy Atlas is Timothy Bradley's trainer. So he may have a chance against Pacquiao. My rebuttal to that is Teddy Atlas can be training whoever he want to train. He's not in there fighting with you, though. You got to feel those knuckles hit you in your big head.
True.
Am I right, John?
Man, he's got a head of an anvil, man. He can't get hurt, man. I'm telling you, this Timothy Bradley kid is amazing.
He's not amazing.
I follow boxing more than you guys, so I know boxing more.
So wait a minute.
He's not amazing. He just got a big ass head.
So you're telling me he stands a chance against Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao in this fight?
Listen, if you go to Vegas odds right now, I think it's closer to 50-50 than you might think.
Oh, that's bogus. Vegas don't know what they talking about. Vegas don't know.
Well, Pacquiao.
They know. They just want you to take that bet so you'll lose. That's all.
Oh, there you go. They about making money. You right. That do make sense.
No, Pacquiao is over the hill now. He's not the same. You know, a perfect example was that with Floyd Mayweather fight. Now, that was obviously it was embarrassing, right?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew who was going to win that fight. That wasn't a mystery.
Stop it right now. Manny Pacquiao.
Exactly.
In his defense, he was fighting with one arm. You seen the reports?
He was also fighting the toughest man in the world, the undefeated champion. But I'm gonna tell you this:
that fight was rigged.
I honestly believe that fight was rigged. I honestly believe that.
All right, Raj, this is coming from a real brother right here. He said that the fight was rigged.
That fight was rigged.
This fight was not rigged. This fight was not fixed. The only thing that was fixed, it was Manny Pacquiao couldn't fix his career after that Manuel Marquez knockout that shocked the world. And Pac-Man ain't been the same since that fight.
Do you really have to relive that every time we talk?
Because that's the fight that lost him the Mayweather fight. He went in the Mayweather fight swinging for his life. And he wasn't disciplined. He threw his arm out his own socket and got beat. That's it.
Well, I have to admit that Mayweather was the better fighter that night. I mean, I got to give it to Floyd.
He got hurt before the match. And I think he tried to back out. And Mayweather was like, "Nah, son, he ain't backing out."
He didn't get hurt before the match. If you look at the fight, he was throwing wild haymakers and missing. He missed so bad his arm came out the socket. He was missing like Ronda Rousey against Holly Holm on Mayweather.
That's even more reason to say why the fight was fixed, man.
But see, the difference between Pac-Man and Ronda Rousey, Pac-Man grew up in the era of don't come in this house crying because somebody beat you up. He went back out there and was fighting again. He ain't cried. True. He went out there after he swung his arm out the socket. He continued the fight. Then after the fight, he made up an excuse that his arm was out the socket. But he wasn't crying, though. That's the key thing.
You don't know that Manny didn't cry after his first loss. That's the first time he got his ass whipped.
He didn't cry on Ellen. What do you think about that, John?
No, he was smiling on the first take right away after that fight.
He was smiling straight to the bank, boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, Rich, we appreciate you calling in. We going to check back with you. We going to head on over to my man Mike McClendon again and see what he got to say about this whole Pac-Man apology and this whole Pac-Man Timothy Bradley thing.
Jimmy Neutron. All right, fellas, get back at me.
All right. Yeah, John, that's crazy, man. Like, I believe he's going to murder Timothy Bradley and really put some punishment on him and hurt him really, really bad. We're going to take this call from my man Mike McClendon and see what he got to say about Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley 3. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on?
What you think about Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley 3?
Well, first of all right, number one, shouldn't have been a third fight. Okay, but now that it is, because Manny should have fought somebody else to go out in style. But now that it is, Timothy Bradley is coming from a new era right now in boxing. He's got a new team under his belt. He's got Teddy Atlas in the corner with him. So the fight, Bradley is going to bring to Pacquiao. It's going to be a new style, a new format for him. He's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive, okay? Even though he might still get hit, might still get knocked a little crazy at times, But he's got to bring the fight to Manny. They can't sit there and throw arms and elbows up and try to test each other's defense, stuff like that. He's got to bring the fight to Manny Pacquiao. He's got to make Manny Pacquiao fight early and try to tire him out. That's the only strategy Bradley is going to have to win the fight. Other than that, Pacquiao's coming out with the same style. He's not going to be that much aggressive this time, but he's going to pick the boy apart. You know, a lot of counter punching, a lot of side to side movement and stuff like that. And then around 6, 7, and 8, you'll see Manny Pacquiao get aggressive and start showing what he used to do. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna use that to his advantage to win the fight. Now, him and Mayweather, I don't know what happened with that fight. It looked like it was just a bunch of garbage. Okay, because listen, I have a right to my opinion. Let me speak. Thank you. First of all, Mayweather's not going to get hit. Okay, he's not in the ring to get hit. Mayweather is a boxer. All right, a boxer is a person that uses more defense than offense. He'll punch when he needs to punch, and he'll knock somebody out when he needs to knock somebody out. Other than that, he's going to sit there, measure his opponent up, and watch what he does, and he's going to counter off of it. He'll throw the
That's true.
Make sure you don't hit him in the face and stuff like that. He'll swing. He'll have a lot of lateral movement and stuff like that. He picked up $100 million for the fight. He didn't get a scratch on him. Manny got hit, like I would say, hit good about 3 or 4 times. That was it. Mayweather didn't have to do much. And so he wasn't going to go into that fight saying, okay, look, we're going to bang all day, every round.
What do you think about that, John?
If that would have been the case, I think Pacquiao would have beat the crap out of him.
What you think, John?
Well, Mike made a great point here. I think overall, Floyd Mayweather is just a better boxer, right? But if it was a real fight, yeah, I'm saying like Mike was saying,
a real fight,
and Manny Pacquiao can knock his ass.
And you know what, John? You're right. If there was a real fight, toe to toe, bang to bang, like Mayweather and that Mexican, but that Mexican cut Mayweather's ass up a little bit.
I don't know what.
Even though he lost the fight, man, he got some nice shots on him.
Which Mexican are you referring to, Mike? There's quite a few Mexicans.
The Mexican guy he fought toe to toe with him once.
He's talking about Mike Donna. Got to be Mike Donna.
Well,
yeah.
I think he's Argentinian.
Once in the second fight, he fought him like he fought Manny Pacquiao to stay away in this box. But like I said, he boxed against Manny Pacquiao. If there was a rematch, and let them go toe to toe, because both of them are in retirement right now, and just let them bang it out, Manny Pacquiao will break his neck.
Oh my
I don't believe that. I don't believe
in
Mike.
In a toe-to-toe fight, it'll wind up being a draw. But man, I'm telling you, neither one of them would never fight again.
Listen. Check this out. Fighting is not you pose to let somebody hit you. Fighting is hit and not be hit. Well, it's never been in the manual of fighting that I supposed to stand there and trade punches with you. No, that hasn't been the thing.
But all the money that the people pay for pay-per-view to watch people like this fight, we deserve at least one slugfest.
So you saying because you, the viewer, paid money, the two people should let one another hit each other because you paid the money?
Well, first of all, they got nothing. Neither one of them have nothing to lose.
No, but hold on. That's what you're saying. You're saying that because the viewers paid money, that the fighters should hit each other and let the other opponent hit them back. That's what you just said.
No, that's not what Mike said.
They should give us our money's worth. They really should.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
We get our money's worth. We went for a goddamn cruise ship ride watching that fight.
Don't twist the facts here, Rashawn.
All right, what's the facts, John? What's the facts?
All Mike is saying is Mayweather could have initiated the fight more. Instead of running around the ring like Speedy Gonzalez, he would have just took a couple rounds and fought him toe to toe, like Mike was trying to say.
All right, let me ask you.
He was not all into that.
Okay, let me ask you.
Give us our money's worth. We're the viewers. We pay the money. We should.
Wait. Hold on. Let me ask you this. You know, we all had.
Was expecting them to have
we all had people who.
Even you two guys. You guys are sportcasters back there. Even you two guys. Even though your man won Rashad, I'm quite sure you disagree with some of the stuff that happened during the fight.
Only thing I disagree with during the fight is when Manny Pacquiao got up there after the fight and said he hurt his arm before the fight. That's the only thing I disagree with.
Well,
but
there's documents that.
Documents. It's documents on everybody out. Everybody got documents. So you telling me is paperwork saying his shoulder was thrown out of his socket?
That's right.
Before the fight.
Let me ask you this though. One question: why didn't the Nevada Commission give him a permission to take a painkiller before the fight?
I don't know nothing about them.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about painkillers.
So all of a sudden you don't know these facts.
I don't know these facts. But listen, this is what I need to say. When all of us on the line right now, on air right now, probably had an uncle, a dad that put up their hands and had you, shadow box with their hands, right? Correct? Am I correct about that, Mike?
You're right.
Okay. Now, at some point when you were shadow boxing with your dad or uncle or whoever, they threw a punch and you were supposed to duck, correct?
You were supposed to try to duck, yeah.
So when Mayweather's ducking and Pacquiao's missing, we can't get mad as the viewers at Mayweather because this guy's too slow. That's all he was doing.
Rashad, you got to keep it real, okay?
I'm keeping it all the way real. Stick and move, stick and move.
Just because you are a Mayweather fan doesn't put you high up on a pedestal, okay? This man, Floyd Mayweather Jr., like I said, he's a boxer. All his fights, he probably fought twice out of all his fights because he had to fight. He was backed into a corner. He had to fight. When his career plummeted and when his career got off to a good start and he started winning the fights and when he got to like 34, 35 and all like that, you won't have to fight no more. Just go in the ring, just show up, move around, throw a couple punches and make your money. He did the same thing with Manny Pacquiao, but now they should sign a rematch. They should have a rematch.
No.
They should go out there and for a 12-round fight, give us at least 3 rounds of some toe-to-toe action.
I don't want to see no
I know you don't want to see it,
Pac-Man Mayweather fight again.
You don't want to see Mayweather get knocked down to the ground. That's why.
Well, we like to thank you for checking in with us on your Pacquiao comments. We're going to get back to you on some other topics, Mike, and we're going to come back.
All right, this is getting very heated now. Let's move on to the next topic, shall we?
Yes, okay. What do we have next? We have Blake Griffin punching his friend, the team's trainer.
Probably because of
in the head.
A lady involved, probably.
Right. Now, we have his comments, his apology. We have a clip of his apology. Let's take a listen to it and let the viewers hear it.
I just want to say, I've had a lot of time to reflect and still, I'm very truly sorry for what happened. It's a situation that between two friends that kind of got out of hand, and I exercised poor judgment, and I've spoken to Matias about it. I've spoken to my teammates about it, coaches. The last people really to apologize to are the fans, and show them how sorry I am for this situation. Something I feel awful about, something that I haven't had to deal with ever before in life, and it's been tough. But now that the NBA has done their due diligence in the Clippers, and I have my punishment, I'm looking forward to just moving on and moving past this and getting back on the court with my teammates.
Well, there you have it, Blake Griffin's apology for punching his friend in his head. What do you think about that, Johnny M?
He's apologizing because I think he's got a class lawsuit on his ass, right? You know that. I think that's the only reason why he's apologizing. Other than that, I think his apology is fake.
Right. Of course it's fake. He's apologizing because he got caught. Of course it's fake. It ain't genuine. That's what I'm saying. These players and these personalities, they got to come more real.
So you're saying that's why you applaud Manny Pacquiao, because he was real.
Yeah, but then he apologized. I ain't like the apology. He shouldn't apologize.
I think he should have apologized.
He should have said it and stuck by it.
No, he should have apologized. He did the right thing. But anyways, back to Blake Griffin. So what do you think about him as a player, as his apology, beating up your friend outside the restaurant parking lot?
Right.
Do you think that's all acceptable, really?
He was wrong about what he did. He couldn't take his friend cracking on him. Me and you, we crack on each other all the time.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no blows.
He's probably like, I'm the superstar here. I'm the one's making millions.
Right.
You're not supposed to make fun of me.
Right.
You little trainer. You.
The only reason he cracked him, I believe, is because the guy said some true stuff to him, and he must have already felt it deep in his heart somewhere.
That's right. Following somebody outside the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's out there.
And that's supposed to be your friend? Like, nah. He was totally wrong for hitting the guy because the guy said the team is playing better without you.
You know, I bet you it's probably because of a woman.
No.
What do you think?
I don't think it's because of women.
You know, there's rumors about NBA players. They like them hoes.
Yeah, but I don't think this one is about no women. I think this one was truly about when the friend told him, the team is better off without you. We winning more games without you. And I think it touched a nerve inside his body, something that he already felt himself, but didn't want to explain to the world. That's what I believe.
All right, who we got in the line?
It looked like my man Mike from Pleasantville is back. Go ahead. What's your take on this Blake Griffin thing?
Yeah. What's good? This is Mike coming at you once again. The Blake Griffin situation. It's corny. I mean, seriously, it's corny. You punched him in the head. So what? You know what I'm saying? Get back to what you know how to do, and that's playing ball.
So wait. Let's get this right. You telling me and Johnny that it was okay for Blake to punch him in his head?
A 6'9" guy punching a 5'7" in the head, knocked out in the hospital. You think it's acceptable, Mike?
Totally unacceptable. Totally unprofessional on Blake Griffin's part. But you know what I'm saying? There's no reason to blow it up in the media. You know what I'm saying? They got it all over everything. They making it look like that Blake Griffin's a troubled kid, come from a troubled background and everything. He punched the kid in the head. One infraction. Okay, he got into a little fisticuff with one of his buddies. He punched him in the head. The kid, he hit him hard. The guy landed in the hospital. I feel bad for the guy. Yes, I do. But getting back to Blake Griffin, I mean, he's a ball player. I mean, he's an NBA icon, you know? I mean, the man plays for a good, solid team. You know, he's been through a lot of hardship with the team owner, but all the racial stuff and everything. I mean, the man plays ball. He's never been a problem. You know, he has no routine traffic stops or nothing like that. He hasn't been searched. His car hasn't been searched for drugs or nothing like that. Give it a rest, media, please. Give it a rest. He punched the guy in the head, the kid's in the hospital.
You know what they say about squeaky clean guys, right, Mike?
I know. I hope the kid makes a speedy recovery, but then again, getting back to
what they say, John.
Getting back to the NBA thing with the basketball, I mean, let the man go back and play basketball. I know the league suspended him, which was the right thing to do.
Hold on, Mike. I want to know what they say about squeaky clean guys. What do they say?
I'll give you a name, right? And you judge it.
Okay.
You judge it.
Okay.
I'll give you Peyton Manning. What about them?
Peyton Manning? Squeaky clean? Mike, thank you for your comments on Blake Griffin. We'll bring it back to you later. Peyton Manning, squeaky clean. Blake Griffin is way more squeaky clean than Peyton Manning.
That's what I'm saying.
If you haven't noticed lately.
Peyton Manning is supposed to be the squeaky clean role model for the NFL. Am I correct?
He's supposed to be, but
not a lot of dirt coming out of the closet now, right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff is coming out because people hate to see people on top. So it could take 82 years before something come out on you. You see what they doing to Bill Cosby? Now they doing it to Peyton Manning. This stuff happened back when he was in college. He been out of college, 20-something years? And now they saying something?
I don't know. It's just a little weird to me. That's all.
So if you tie that in with the Blake Griffin thing, right. Blake was wrong for punching him because the friend said something to him. But other than that, like Mike said, he ain't never had no infractions. I just believe I need for one of these players, one of these people in the public eye, when they do something, right? This is what I need from them. I need you to get up there and stand by what you done. Don't issue no apology. I want somebody to be 100% real. And when I mean real, I don't mean cool. I want your real feelings. I don't want the politically correct feelings. I wanted Blake Griffin to get up there and explain why he's done what he's done. He went up there, he punched his friend in the head. He's supposed to get up there on national TV and say, listen, I punched him in his head because he said the team was better off without me.
Well, he might be correct.
That's what I would have done. I would have went up there and said, yo, Blake Griffin, do you apologize? And listen, I believe I was wrong. I made a mistake from punching him. But I punched him because he said the team was better off without me. So now he know not to ever say no shit like that to me again. That's what I want somebody to get up there and say for one time in their life.
Well, but the Clippers seems to be better without him, though, right? I mean, the records are saying that they're better without him.
The records are saying they better without him, but Blake Griffin is box office. You see what I'm saying? Blake Griffin is filling the seats in the Staples Center.
Oh, Blake Griffin is a one-trick pony. All he does is jump off a Kia Sorento or whatever car it is. All he does is dunk.
Right, but that's true. But that's what's filling the seats, though. You see what I'm saying? He's the one. That whole Lob City, it wouldn't be Lob City if it's no Blake Griffin. Lob City is what's selling the tickets there.
All right.
You feel me?
I see your point there, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he was wrong, but I just want all of these personalities, these celebrities. I want somebody to get up there and say, something real. Like, there's only one person I ever seen say something honest. Like when 50 Cent accepted his BET award, he went up there and he said, I like to thank myself, because if it wasn't for me, none of this would be possible. That's the type of answers I'm looking for. I ain't looking for this politically correct stuff.
Well, that's kind of a hood answer.
That ain't a hood answer. That's a real answer. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit up there and lie and say, I like to thank this person, that person. You be lying. You're just doing that because other people before you did that.
So you basically just want everybody to be real, even though it's wrong.
No, not if it's wrong. I want you to be honest on how you feel. That's what I want.
Okay.
That's real honesty. So like, all right, take for example, Marshawn Lynch was honest. Right. He said, I'm just here so I won't get fined. That was honest.
Did he get fined?
He got fined. The first time. But when he was up there repeating himself, he didn't.
Right.
Which segues our topic into Cam Newton and him walking off the podium.
Oh my goodness, Cam Newton.
That was honest. I liked it.
What a lightning rod this guy.
I don't even know if liked it is the correct English, but I loved what he did.
He did what?
He walked off in the interview.
You can't do that.
You can't. But it was honest, though.
It was honest, but as a quarterback, you can't do that. Quarterback is supposed to be a leader of the team, not walk off the field. That's not right.
Right. You know what? You're right. You know what he did? Since he's the leader, he told the rest of the team, yo, I'm taking my ball. Let's go, y'all. We out. That's what that was to me.
That's not leadership.
They all followed him.
Right? This is not what Russell Wilson would have done. I mean, Russell Wilson I think he's a better player anyway than Cam Newton.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. He's a stand-up guy. He always says the right things. He's a model to the community. I mean, what has Cam Newton did?
Listen, I like people with honesty.
All right. You know what? You like gangster people. That's what you like. you like Cam Newton because he's just gangster.
No, listen. I don't like Cam because of the gangster thing. I like the honesty. You see what I'm saying? Because if you get up there and just say, we fought hard, we did this, we didn't win, the better team won, but deep down inside you feel, man, they ain't really beat us. These dumb receivers ain't catch the balls. I would be the first player to get up there and say that. I would.
He should have talked to his teammates, not like
I would tell it to the teammates.
The media?
I tell it to the teammates. I tell it to the media. I walk off. All of that stuff.
I think he's got some decent receivers, doesn't he?
Hell no. It's this Jericho Cotry.
Cotry? Is he still playing?
Devin Funchess. He got one cat named Philly Brown.
Yeah, you're just making these names up. I don't even believe it.
Listen, I ain't making these names up. These are the names of his receivers.
Really?
Listen, they are so much no names. When you
wait.
When you turn on Madden, right? Everybody has a name except his receivers. They just got numbers. I'm serious.
I can't help it. You're just making this stuff up, man.
Listen, man. Listen. Y'all watch the Super Bowl.
He's got Crabtree. Michael Crabtree's pretty good.
Cam Newton ain't got no Crabtree.
He's got Crabtree.
No. Crabtree's with David Carr in Oakland.
Wait a minute. Who's he got that? Oh, no, he's got
I just told you who he got. He got Philly Brown.
He's got that fast guy. What's his guy's name?
Ted Ginn Jr.
Yeah, that kid.
From the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Right. He's a superstar.
He's no superstar. He's only good when Jim Tressel is giving him money on the side to perform.
All right. Oh, side to perform. You're saying these college players in Ohio State gets paid?
Yes, everybody from Ohio State gets paid.
Come on, man. That's a college team. They're not supposed to get paid.
They're not supposed to, but they do.
Do you have evidence?
Listen, ESPN got the evidence. I ain't got evidence. I'm just telling you what it is.
Sometimes ESPN does make stuff up, man.
All right, listen.
I can't believe what ESPN say all the time.
Listen, bottom line, what I'm saying is I like Cam's post-game interview because he was honest. Whether he was right or wrong, that ain't my thing. My thing is your honesty.
All right, he's honest, but to me and to the public, I think he did a disservice to his team. I mean, he's supposed to go to the podium, man up, and say, you know what, we lost. We're the better team won.
He did do that.
And I stunk. Which he did. He stunk.
He didn't stink. They dropped all the balls.
Oh, my God. He's throwing balls like 20 feet off a receiver. They can't catch that. Come on.
Listen, they was catching it all year.
No more excuses, man.
Listen,
he did not perform in the biggest game in the world. That's all.
Right. But again, I say you go turn on Madden.
All right.
And you look up the names of his receivers. It got just their numbers. I'm telling you, man. He's no name.
You can't make this stuff up, man. You're just making this stuff.
This one dude's name is Philly Brown. This other dude was Funches.
I know Philly Brown. He lives in Camden. What's wrong?
Yo,
MLKNA Philly Brown. Is that the guy?
Yeah, Philly Brown.
Come on, man. Don't make stuff up, all right? It's just
I'm not making that's his name.
He is wrong, and I think the uproar proves that he is wrong.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Let's see what my man Mike McClendon has to say.
Again?
Yes, Mike Mike has an opinion. Mike, go ahead. What you got to say about the whole Cam Newton thing?
The Cam Newton situation. First of all, I'm gonna congratulate Cam and them for winning the NFC East. I mean for winning the NFC. They got the championship for them. But as far as the Super Bowl, he's never been to the big game. All right, he came out. He was nervous. The first 7 to 8 minutes of the game, he made some real bad plays and stuff like that. The plays were called correctly. Cam Newton didn't follow through. He was throwing the ball over their heads and stuff like that. And when you got a team out there that they're willing to catch the ball, okay, they're willing to catch the ball if you throw it to them. Well, if you throw it 19 feet in the air, it's hard for them to grab it. Cam Newton was not ready. He did not have the mindset the first 10 minutes of the game, which was pretty much all of the first quarter. And it was his fault that things didn't work out the way they did in the first quarter because the way he played. Now, the rest of the team was ready to respond to him, and he did not respond to them. So what happens, you and the whole team go in the locker room and you bite your toenails and you come out in the second half. You play a little bit better. Both defenses played good, and it was a defensive game, but Cam Newton and them trailed the whole game.
But wait a minute. What's your take on Cam getting up and walking off the podium after the Super Bowl game?
He shouldn't have done it. You take it like a man. You win.
See, Mike's an old school guy. He knows.
He's sitting there doing your little Heisman Trophy stance all season long.
Yeah.
Okay, you're winning and you're grinning.
What do they call that stance there? What do they call that?
Stance? Dab on him.
The dab. Well, that's number one. It's corny. What was that dab about?
He should not have walked out of the interview.
All right, but listen, Mike. All right, listen. He shouldn't have walked out. But can't you appreciate his honesty?
No. I don't appreciate nothing a player does that. You pay a guy that kind of money, all right, to be a leader of a football team, and you have to be a leader from beginning to end. And the end is with the interview. That's what ends it all. Now, what he should have did was took the interview, sulk in the interview, have your emotional feelings. Okay, if you want to let something out, let something out. You don't get up and walk out in the interview.
But Mike, we not saying what he should have done. I'm asking you, do you appreciate his honesty from
No, I don't.
walking?
No, I do not.
All right, now this is my rebuttal.
About what he did.
This is my rebuttal to that. We teach kids to be honest. Don't lie, right?
True.
That's what we teach kids,
true.
right? So
That's true.
if he would have went up there and gave the phony response, we telling the rest of America and we telling our kids, yo, go up there, stand up there, give the phony response, but don't walk off. I want you to give me how you really feel, so that way I'm never going to be shocked when you do something crazy that's not normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, take Bill Cosby for instance. Like, people were shocked about these rape allegations, right? That's because time and time again, when Bill Cosby's getting interviewed, he's giving America the right thing to say. He never gave them his real feelings all the time. You see what I'm saying? So when you give somebody your real feelings, when you do some off the wall shit like Cam did, it won't be shocking. You see what I'm saying? Like, the people listening to me now, is like, yo, if I ever hear Rush say some off the wall stuff, I won't be too shocked because he's saying it right now live on air. So Cam Newton walking off. So if you see him walk off something else, you ain't gonna be shocked.
Yeah, but it sends a message to the rest of the team, and Cam Newton can't take it like a man. In the big game, he's going to choke under pressure.
But he didn't choke.
Listen,
Philly Brown and Devin Funches.
He choked in the Super Bowl. And
Ted Ginn Jr.
He choked on the interview. He choked in the Super Bowl, and he choked on the interview. You know, take your interview, take your losses, take your shower, get dressed, and go home. That's just the way it is.
Also, he's
you know, I don't like nothing he did at the end of the game. I mean, the only one thing that I did like at the end of the game, he came inside the crowd where all the media was, and he gave Peyton Manning a hug, and he congratulated him. That was very professional. Now, if you can do that, you can take your interview.
Word. Well, we appreciate your take on it, Mike. Thank you. Go ahead, John.
No, I was saying he's portraying all this happy-go-lucky guy, right?
Right.
All these celebrations and stuff. But if you lose, you got to take it as a man. You can't just, walk away.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Tell us your take on Cam Newton walking off the podium.
This is Keith Ward calling from AC.
Keith Ward from AC. What do you think about Cam Newton walking off the podium? Do you appreciate his honesty?
Yes, I do.
See? That's what I'm talking about,
yes,
John.
I do. He young. He ain't never lost. So he lost. He ain't know how to take it. You got to understand, he's only like 26 years old.
Yeah. What about what about Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson is like 23 years old. And he can take it like a man. Cam Newton can't.
But Russell Wilson won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he lost the
They lost the next one.
Exactly.
So, he been through all that. He had a taste of the Super Bowl. Cam get there. They won every game but one. Like I said, he won in high school. He won in college. Get to the Super Bowl, he lose. He had the whole team on his back the whole year. He get to the Super Bowl, and his line don't give him no protection. Your boy Philly Brown choked.
I told you that was his name.
Philly Brown.
Philly Brown.
There's no such thing as Philly Brown.
That's his name, number 10, Philly Brown. He went out with a concussion. He hit his head on the turf.
You know what? That was a fake concussion. He knew that they were going to lose. That's why he just got out of the field.
Everybody say Cam choked, but what can you do when you have no protection? Every time you drop back,
Listen, this guy had protection all year. All of a sudden, his protection went away. That's an excuse right there.
Yeah.
How is it an excuse? His offensive line didn't show up.
All year, his offensive line's the best in the league. All of a sudden, his offensive line's fault? I don't think so, pal.
Well, we appreciate you calling in, Keith.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
Yeah, before Keith went on the air, right?
Uh-huh.
He said that he's a big North Carolina fan.
Uh-oh.
All right. And
so
knowing you, you're a...
We're going to segue into our next topic.
Right. Don't hang up, Keith.
Let's do that. Recently,
all right,
over this past week, there was a big game down in North Carolina, the state of North Carolina. The Duke Blue Devils,
which is your team.
Oh, of course, which is my team, played the UNC Tar Heels. and the Duke Blue Devils prevailed as they normally do against the Tar Heels. What is your take on that game? Should Roy Williams have called a timeout, or should he have let his team march down the court and go for the game-winning shot?
He should have absolutely called a timeout.
Yeah.
Now, is that because in hindsight, now you see he should have called the timeout?
Because, I mean, you down one, you call timeout, get a good play to win the game. Now, if the game was tied or they was up one, I could see him going down the court not calling a timeout. You know, with that rivalry, anything can happen. You're supposed to come down, call a timeout, set up a good play.
Okay.
I say get rid of Roy Williams.
Seeing though that Britt and I didn't think his name. The other guard, they were cold all day. They was like 4 for 20.
Okay.
So, do you like Roy Williams as a head coach, or do you want him gone?
I like Roy. I just don't like him. I don't think he recruits well. Like he doesn't recruit like Kentucky or the team from Durham.
Why don't you just say the Duke Blue Devils?
I can't say that, yo. They recruit the one and done kids. Roy don't want to do that. Roy wants to recruit the kids that is going to stay.
Or maybe the kids just don't want to go to North Carolina because they have a perception of being losers now. What do you think about that, Rich?
You know what? You're right. You're right. That's why he's not getting the recruits, because they haven't won a national title in some time. And that like the mystique of the kids coming from high school, they're looking at the Kentuckys. They're looking at the Dukes. You see what I'm saying? Roy Williams doesn't market his Roy Williams brand like Calipari and Krzyzewski do. Even Pitino markets himself. Like, that's what attracts the kids, the coach, and getting in the spotlight of the big game. Roy Williams, if I'm a kid coming from high school, Roy Williams doesn't show me I'm about to be on the biggest stage in the world to showcase my game. Am I right, Keith?
Somewhat.
Yeah, like if I'm a kid, right, and I just saw Rick Pitino's bringing strippers from Vanity Grand or Club Onyx in Philly inside the dorm room, I'm going to Louisville. Or if Rick Pitino's connected to John Gotti, I'm running with not Rick Pitino, John Calipari. If he's connected to John Gotti, I'm running with John Calipari. And then if Mike Krzyzewski is coaching Team USA, he's around Kobe and LeBron.
What does Roy Williams do to make himself stand out?
He don't do nothing. All he do, he don't call timeouts. He don't do nothing.
He keeps wearing that stupid navy blue shirt.
He's hoping kids come to Carolina because Jordan played in Carolina.
Who? Oh, Jordan. Okay, yeah. He was the second best player in that team, by the way.
Well, he was only a freshman when they won the championship.
Who's that?
Jordan was the second or third option in that team.
Yeah, he was. He wasn't even a first option.
Right. It was Sam Perkins' team. Remember Sam Perkins?
No, it was James Worthy's team.
It was Worthy's team. But I'm not talking about that year. After that year, all they talked about was Jordan. All you knew was Jordan. So I think he's kind of hoping kids come to Carolina because of Jordan. Like I said, he doesn't even try to recruit the kids that he knows going to go 1 year and be done.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's an excuse. Because he just can't get those A recruits now. You know, they'd rather go to Duke, like Rashad said, or Kentucky or Louisville. You make a good point there, Rush.
It's the whole, like, Roy Williams, where he fails at, like, the other coaches, is like the attraction to him. Like, even Jim Boeheim. Like, all of the hood kids from New York, they love going to Jim Boeheim.
Why do you have to start with the hood all of a sudden?
No, but I'm being real, though. Like, honestly, Jim Boeheim is getting all of the troubled New Yorkers.
Right.
That be balling in Rucker Park. That's who Jim Boeheim's getting.
Ballers from Harlem.
Yeah, he's getting them.
Bronx. Okay.
He's getting them from the Kingdom and the Rucker Park. But you know.
But let's talk about this team from Dawn, because I got a question.
Okay, what's your question, Keith Ward from Atlantic City?
Is
this question for me or Johnny M?
Well, both of y'all can answer this. I just want to know who's the best power forward to ever play NCAA basketball.
You go first, Johnny.
Power forward? I don't know. Yeah, I think James Worthy, man. He was unbelievable. Was he a power forward or a small forward?
Nah, he was a small forward.
Power forward. I can't think of anybody.
I can think of somebody.
Go ahead.
Christian Laettner was the best.
I was gonna say
NCAA player of all time.
No.
In college basketball history.
I'm gonna top one. Somebody even better than
who?
Jimmer Fredette.
All right,
you know what?
We going to
He's a guard, though. He's a guard. You're
yes,
right.
I'm talking
about forward.
Forward. Christian Laettner, by far. He's dominated Shaq in college. He's dominated Chris Webber in college.
He dominated Shaq in college?
Yes, that's right. And whoever was on North Carolina Tar Heels, he dominated them too in college.
What game did he dominate Shaq?
He was the player of the year like 2 years in a row. Am I right?
Thank you.
Come on, man.
Hold on. We're going to come back to Keith. We have a new caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Talk to us. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Talk to us.
Yo, Rashad, what's up, bro?
Who's Rashad? This is Rush Life and Johnny M. Where are you calling from?
Listen, I have a question for you. I want to know who is the person who choked on the regular season of the fantasy this
All right. We just lost that caller. We just lost that caller. Back to Keith Ward. That caller is talking some BS. What's going on, Keith Ward? Back to this Christian Laettner thing.
That was pretty funny. Who was that guy?
I don't know who that caller was. It's some maniac. Anyway, Keith Ward, we back. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, do you disagree that Christian Laettner was the best power forward in NCAA history?
Absolutely.
Who's better than him?
I could think of a guy named Len Bias.
What? Who? Len who?
Yeah, Len who? Len who?
You're just against Christian Laettner because he's obviously... I'm not going to say it. Can you say it?
Duke Blue Devil.
That's right. And...
Keith Ward, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so if make your case for Len Bias.
Len Bias. You don't know who Len Bias is?
Not really. Like when I see college basketball highlights, they don't show Len Bias.
He only.
He can't make out what Len Bias done. What
you take the one play that they show from the foul line and made that jump shot to win the game.
Who, Len Bias did that? Who did that?
That's the only highlight they show.
Who did that? What highlight are you talking about?
Your Christian Laettner highlight.
Oh, we back with my boy. You're telling us how great Christian Laettner is.
Len Bias played for Maryland.
Okay, he played for the Terps, an ACC rival.
That's right.
Okay, and what have they won? What did he win when he was with them?
We talking about players. I'm talking about players. I'm not talking about teams. Len Bias would have gave it to Laettner.
He would have, but did he?
Like what? Played the same time.
Okay, so which means he could have dominated in his era. Did he dominate?
Did he dominate?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
So what did they win? Crickets.
Oh, hold on. He's still Googling his answer.
I'm talking about team accolades. I'm talking about individual players.
Yes, we're talking about individual
Keith, go ahead.
players.
You can Google your answers, man.
Right.
We're talking about individual players, Keith Ward. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, this is the Point of View Sports Talk Show, Johnny M. Rush Life. We're talking about the greatest power forward in college basketball history / player of all time, Christian Laettner. He just said, Keith Ward, our caller, said Len Bias. I asked Keith Ward, what did Len Bias win? He said, you keep talking about the team. We talking about the player. So as a player, what did he win? Keith Ward. Keep crickets again.
I'm getting.
I told you he was going to Google his answer.
My man Keith Ward is amazing me right now. Once again, silence. Score one more for Christian Laettner. Am I right, Johnny?
I have to agree with you on that.
Oh, we're going to take a call from another caller. We'll be back to you, Keith Ward.
Are we still talking about college basketball, or are we going to move on?
Yeah, I mean, the callers are calling in for this Christian Laettner thing. They're really calling in. So we got to take these callers and see their opinions. What's your opinion, Johnny?
Well, as you know, Christian Laettner is very polar. What you call that? Very
pulverizing.
Polarizing.
Yeah.
People like him. People hate him.
Well, we got Richard Holland back on the line. Rich, who's the greatest power forward in college basketball history? Talk to us.
Basketball history is going to be Tim Duncan.
Are you serious?
Tim Duncan is a center. He was a center in college.
He was a center, Rich. What are you talking about?
Is he a center?
He was a center in college.
All right, so back to power forwards then.
Exactly.
Listen.
I mean, I usually don't agree with Rush Life here, but he makes a point now. Christian Laettner just stands out.
But Christian Laettner never accomplished anything after college.
No, we ain't talking about after college. We talking about college.
Well, if we talking about, if that's the case, we can talk about the other boy, North Carolina.
Huh?
What's that boy's name from North Carolina?
Sam Bowie, Sam Perkins,
Sean May.
Come on, man.
No. He was like the best collegiate.
Rasheed Wallace, because he played power forward.
Psycho T. What was his name?
Tyler Hansbrough? Are you serious?
Hansbrough played center in.
When they show highlights of college basketball, Richard Trey Holland, they show one highlight. One. Grant Hill from the out of bounds baseline. He's running back and forth. He throws it deep. He catches it. Christian Laettner in the spectrum. Oh my God! He hit the shot. That's what they show. They don't show Tyler Hansbrough
in his life.
When they show Chris Webber, right? They show Chris Webber losing against Christian Laettner.
Adam Morrison was a better player than Christian Laettner.
Are you smoking? What did Adam Morrison win?
Well, Adam Morrison cried when they lost in the Elite Eight. I remember that.
So you trying to tell me right now, Johnny M, Adam Morrison pulled a Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, he did.
He can no longer be brought up on this show if he pulled a Ronda Rousey.
I'd be honest with you. I thought he was going to have an NBA career.
Everybody thought it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I mean, he can shoot. He was not small. I mean, he was like 6'7". He can shoot.
You want me to tell you how you know if somebody's good? Does any of the players that these people named have their own 30 for 30?
Oh, come on. You can't base it on that.
That's what you got to base it on. The name of Christian Laettner's 30 for 30 was Everybody Hates Christian Laettner.
Because he was a bum, but he was a successful.
I mean, you got to give it to him. He was a College of the Year like 2 years in a row, I think.
I never heard of a successful bum before.
Jimmer was a successful bum.
Hold on. Let's not jump to topics because we're going to get on Jimmer for that. Let's not jump.
That's my favorite player and Rush Life's favorite player.
He's definitely one of the most successful bums in the league.
Who, Christian Laettner?
No,
he was talking about Jimmer. Are you going to allow that?
Hold on. Before we get on the Jimmer, because that's our next topic.
All right.
Christian Laettner is arguably the best college basketball player ever.
No, power forward.
No,
not
player, power forward, whatever you want to call it, ever in college ball. The reason I'm saying this, he's top three. That you have Lou Alcindor, Christian Laettner, and Bill Walton.
Who?
Bill Walton.
Come on, in your top three?
I mean, arguably in college basketball. We ain't talking about career basketball. We talking college. Oh, I'm sorry. I left one out. Pistol Pete Maravich.
Yeah, you got to put Pistol Pete in there.
Pistol Pete's number one because he averaged the most points without a three-point line. Christian Laettner's two because he dominated so many good players. Shaq, Webber, everybody on North Carolina. Come on. You can't say I'm wrong.
You telling me that you really honestly think that Christian Laettner was a better player than Chris Webber?
Yes, he schooled Chris Webber every time he played him. Chris Webber even had help. He had 5 fabulous people to help him.
And Chris Laettner didn't have help?
He had Bobby Hurley, and that's it.
And he had Grant Hill.
Grant Hill wasn't Grant Hill yet. Grant Hill didn't become Grant Hill until Christian Laettner left.
That's not true.
That's very true. What highlight other than when Grant Hill threw the pass to Christian Laettner do they show of Grant Hill in college basketball?
That's like saying that Vince Carter wasn't the man when he was in college.
I don't know anything about a Tar Heel. You have to use another player. All I know about Tar Heels is that they know how to lose to us Duke Blue Devils.
It's the only person that you can even speak on is Christian Laettner.
The greatest player ever in college. He is what Cassius Clay is to boxing. Christian Laettner is to college basketball.
Oh, stop it, man. It's so dramatic with this Christian Laettner thing going on here.
So now we're going to take another call from another caller. We appreciate your comments, Rich. We're going to take another caller. Caller, are you with us? We're going to take another caller. Welcome back, Johnny. They're going in on my boy Christian Laettner, and I don't like it because they're not giving up his props. But our next caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, this is Mike Ignotus, my friend. Let's talk some Big East.
Big East. We're talking best power forward in college basketball history.
Best power forward?
Yes. See that, John? Crickets.
Oh, they can't think of anything. It has to be Christian Laettner.
It has to be Christian Laettner.
No, Christian Laettner. Nah.
They don't want to give up the props.
Laettner. For what? A big shot? Is that what we basing it on?
No, just an overall player. Overall
college
power
player.
Forward.
I gotta go.
Watch you hear the crickets, John. Watch this.
You got so many more that dominated more than Christian Laettner.
Like who? Crickets again, John. I tell you, boy. I tell you. You know when Rush Life is right. When the crickets come out.
I usually go against what you believe, but you're absolutely right on this one.
I'm telling you. So, Mikey, what's your name again? Mikey Nostradamus or whatever?
Ignotus.
Mikey Ignotus from AC. So, since we established that Christian Laettner was the greatest power forward of all time, what is your take?
I would give it to him for the ACC, but not overall.
So who else? If it ain't him overall, who else?
You got James Worthy.
He was not a power forward. He was not a power forward.
He was a small forward.
I'm waiting for somebody to say Nervous Purvis Ellison.
Nobody. I think he is the best, man.
Yes, Christian Laettner by far
is the best.
Thank you for calling in, caller. We'll check back in with you later.
All right, listen. Our Facebook page here, we got a lot of new questions coming up.
Okay, what's some questions off of Facebook?
We have a Cesar Pizarro here. He wants us to talk about Kimbo Slice. And whoever he fought. That was
Kimbo Slice against Dada 5000 was the worst fight I've seen in my life. Y'all talked and criticized earlier about Money Mayweather against Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. But if you watch this Kimbo Slice Dada 5000 fight, oh my God, it was horrible.
I
seen better fights on the WWE than that fight.
That was funny fight. I couldn't stop laughing.
Yes, he had bright red hair. This Dada 5000 guy.
Yeah.
Against Kimbo Slice.
Did he have a identity problem?
Yeah, he did. Big identity problem.
Anyway, Pizarro said he wants to call in.
Tell Pizarro.
How can he call in?
Tell him to call in. Ring the line. He got my number. Tell him to call in, and we'll take his call. But back to this whole this whole power forward thing. We got a caller calling in on the line right now. Of course, y'all know who it is.
Who is that?
It's nobody other than Mike McClendon from Pleasantville, New Jersey. He wants to give his take on the best power forward in college basketball history. So we gonna let Mike tell us who his best power forward is. Go ahead, Mike. Who's the greatest power forward in college basketball history?
Okay, the greatest power forward in basketball history, number one, just let everybody know, it is not Christian Laettner. He was one person that had some shining moments during his college career, and that's all I'm going to give him.
Shining moments, Mike. He was the player of the year 2 years in a row, I think.
2 years in a row.
Like I said, he didn't
That's
play
no
college
just
basketball
shining
all
moment.
his life. He had some shining moments. I'm going to give him that.
Okay, so let's
shining moment for
not the
2 years in a
best
row. I don't think so, pal.
He played college basketball. He didn't play college basketball for 27 years. He only played for 4 years.
Okay,
And
so
for the
all right.
Listen, for the 4 years he was there, like I said, he had a lot of shining moments.
Okay.
That is
So
okay.
also, let's get to the point at hand. Who's the best power forward ever in college basketball?
I'm going to say two people. Two people.
Crickets.
Okay?
Go ahead,
Number
go ahead.
one, I'm going to go with Purvis Ellison.
Who?
Okay?
I don't know.
Nervous Purvis.
Number two, I'm going to go with, this is a tough one, but I'm going to go with Derek Coleman.
Derek Coleman.
Derek D.C. Coleman.
He was a good player.
He went to Syracuse. You know, he came from the hood.
From Harlem.
I tell you, Jim Boeheim takes everybody out of New York from the hood. Everybody.
And that's why he got suspended.
Now I'm going to ask you. You said...
Shine the light on both of you guys about where players come from. It doesn't matter where players come from. It doesn't matter how a player was brought up. Somebody out there came to this person's neighborhood, came to this person's high school, and recognized this player at a young age.
All right, now let me ask you this.
Obviously, you hit the
no
nerve
matter,
there, Rash.
No matter where he lived at, no matter how he was brought up, and offered him something if he kept his half of the bargain, which was to stay in school, get good grades, and listen to your...
All right, now let me ask you this. What did Derek D.C. Coleman win?
Let me finish.
What did he win?
You guys got a radio show here, and everything's fine. Okay, it's nice. Let me ask you a question here. If a person does that and a person pulls through, no matter where he's from, no matter where he's at, doesn't he have a right to something? He does have a right to
No.
something.
That part is right. But what I'm saying is, what did he win as a power forward?
He achieved a lot.
Okay, what did he win?
You don't have to win a championship all the time. You don't
See?
have to,
That's right. This is my point.
It's about the ring, but at the end of the day, it's about you.
Okay, so what did he...
You may not have a ring around your finger. Mike Krzyzewski might have a ring around his eye. Mike Krzyzewski has done a lot for basketball. I give that to him. All right. Right now, his team is a bunch of cream puffs, but they win over the game. Okay, fine. But, where you from and where you at as far as where these kids come from should not be...
All right, but listen.
These people have came into college and came to the pros, and they have raised the bar, and they have given back to their communities.
All right, but listen. What did D.C. do better than Christian Laettner?
Derek Coleman was a power forward personified. Christian Laettner was not a power forward personified. Christian Laettner fed off of Grant Hill. If Grant Hill wasn't there, Christian Laettner would not be a good power forward.
No, I have to disagree with you on that.
Thank you.
Grant Hill was the second option in that team.
Yes.
But those are the facts. You take Grant Hill out of that equation, and Christian Laettner is a half-butt power forward.
Oh, come on, Mike. I mean, come on. Let's be realistic here. I was saying.
Being realistic. Did Grant Hill feed that man the ball a lot? Yes, he did.
Grant Hill was the second option in that team. He was an afterthought.
You take Grant Hill. You ask anybody. You take Grant Hill out of that equation. Christian Laettner is just a regular power forward.
All right, now let me ask you this: when they show highlights of college basketball, right? Check it out. They show highlights of college basketball.
Right.
I don't see Grant Hill. I don't see Derek D.C. Coleman. I don't see nervous Purvis Ellison. I don't see Sean May, Ed Cota. I don't see none of these people. But I tell you who I do see. Everybody hates Christian Laettner. I'm telling you. Thank you for calling in, Mike. We'll bring it back to you later. Yeah, man. It's time to go and segue into our next topic since we're talking about college basketball.
All right. Why don't we talk about NBA now?
All right. So NBA / college basketball.
All right. Yeah. Because there is a big news on just came up.
Yes, very big news.
All right.
So, recently,
What?
my man Jimmer Fredette,
You mean the Jimmer?
the Jimmer,
Okay. What about him?
he was cut by the Pelicans, right?
He was cut
By the
Was
Pelicans.
this just-
No, I'm sorry. Correction. He was cut by the San Antonio Spurs.
Was that justified?
Not justified. We about to
All
get
right.
into my
All right.
take on Jimmer
Okay.
Fredette. So he was cut by the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
He was picked up by the NBA D League Westchester Knicks.
Okay.
That's the D League team of the New York Knicks.
Right.
Now, some say, Steph Curry is the best shooter in the NBA.
Steph Curry. That's what everybody thinks.
That's what everybody thinks. So now this is a serious topic. This is what I believe. What's going on in the NBA is a bit of a form of racism.
Uh-oh.
Now-
Uh-oh.
Yes.
This is coming from you now.
This is coming from me. Now we about to be real right now.
Okay.
We about to be real. You know what I'm saying? I'm about honesty. So check it out. I believe the NBA is racist. Now, normally people think when you hear the word racist, it's white on black or something on black or
Correct.
something of that nature. But this is the opposite. I believe the NBA is racist. They only support and promote the black players.
All right, you're gonna get a lot of calls here.
Oh yes, I know.
This is
We about
very
to be
touching
real. This
topic.
is the best damn sports show around right here. Point of view. We breaking barriers here. Me and my man Johnny M. So check it out,
All
John.
right. So what makes you say that the NBA is racist?
Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 examples.
Okay.
About
Example number 1. Let's go.
example number 1 before I get to Jimmer. Now, it was a man by the name of Jason White Chocolate Williams. You follow me?
Yes.
He came from Florida. Billy Donovan coached him. He was
Okay.
picked up by the Sacramento Kings. He came in and he took the NBA by storm. The NBA's best defensive player, Gary Payton, couldn't even handle this guy.
Who's that?
The Glove, Gary Payton.
Oh, okay. I remember the Glove. He's an all-time great defender.
He shook him out his boots and showed him what his defense meant. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
In his rookie year. Now, White Chocolate was a Caucasian point guard.
Right.
He was a Caucasian, flashy, scoring, passing point guard.
Yeah, he was in the highlights every night.
Yes. The NBA, the
Right.
powers to be that run the NBA did not like that about White Chocolate.
Why is that?
Because he played like he was out there in Rucker Park.
Okay. So what is wrong with that? I mean,
Because he was white and he was doing it.
what?
That's what was wrong with it. This is what I mean about the NBA.
Listen, Magic Johnson used to do all that back then.
But it's cool because he was a black player.
Come on, man. You can't be saying these things.
Yes, you can.
Do you
I'm about
really
to-
believe this now?
I really believe it. I'm going to prove my point
All right,
again.
go ahead.
So, boom, what did they do? He was good on the Kings. The Kings were good.
All right. Yeah, he was. They were a must-watch TV back
Right.
then.
They booted him from the Kings, and they picked up Mike Bibby.
Mike Bibby.
Do you remember that? Mike Bibby.
Well, yeah, I remember Mike Bibby. He was an all-star.
Right. Okay.
But he was more of a fundamental point guard.
Yes. He was a passing point
Right,
guard.
correct.
Okay. So then Allen Iverson comes into the league.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Right.
Point guard, scoring point guard with all of his stuff that he do.
Right.
He was able to stay a scoring point guard. Did you
Correct.
notice that? He was able to stay a scoring point guard.
Yeah, he was shooting the ball like 50 times a game.
Right.
Right.
Then
And it was all right.
right.
Yeah.
Now I just proved to you 2 scoring point guards. Jason Williams, Allen Iverson.
Correct.
Played the same way, but Jason Williams was white. They booted him. Jeremy Lin emerges from the New York Knicks.
Okay, which is obviously an Asian.
He's
NBA
Asian.
player from Harvard.
Took the NBA by storm. Was playing like the boys play in the Rucker Park.
Okay.
Right.
Made Kobe look like a fool.
But at the time when he was doing it, Carmelo Anthony was hurt.
Okay, yeah.
Right? He was the superstar on the
Yeah,
team.
the
Carmelo
Knicks was
Anthony.
a great team to watch when
Soon as
was-
Carmelo Anthony
Okay.
came back,
Uh-huh.
what happened to Jeremy Lin?
he got traded or got let go.
They didn't re-sign him in New York.
No, they did.
He was given the boot and sent to play with James Harden in Houston,
Okay,
Texas,
another ball hog.
because he was Asian. They didn't want him to be a scoring point guard in the NBA.
So you're saying if you're not of a African American descent,
yes,
you're not allowed to score.
You're not allowed to be a scoring point guard. Absolutely.
That doesn't make sense to me, man.
Okay.
I find it
so
hard to believe.
that's two.
Okay,
that's two things I gave
right.
you. Then we transformed to Jimmer Fredette.
Okay. Possibly the best shooter of all time.
Yes, in my
college.
eyes.
In college.
Yes.
I'm not going to say NBA yet.
Led college basketball in scoring, if I'm correct, 3 years in a row.
He was scoring 40 points a game.
Yes. Even when Steph Curry was in college, Jimmer was the leading scorer in college basketball.
I remember that.
Jimmer would come down, people, if y'all don't know who Jimmer is, he would come down past half court. He played for BYU. And if you know BYU symbol on their court at mid-court, it's a B, a Y, and a U.
Correct.
He would pull up from the U or the B and drain it every night, consistently.
I don't think Steph Curry can do that.
Hell no. Right? He gets to the NBA, gets drafted by the Kings.
So
right?
he's an established shooter and can definitely shoot
right
anywhere in the court.
Anywhere.
All right.
So he gets drafted, right? Mike D'Antoni from the New York Knicks wanted to draft him.
Okay.
But the Sacramento Kings drafted him.
All right.
And DeMarcus Cousins was the superstar on the Kings at the time.
Oh, my goodness.
They did not play Jimmer at all. It wasn't that he was a bum. They didn't play him at all.
Didn't even give him a chance.
The one game they gave him a chance was against the New York Knicks.
Okay.
He dropped 24 points.
24 points?
He was pulling up from the K on the New York Knicks mid-court.
All right. Well, how come he doesn't get a chance to play? That I don't understand.
Because he's a scoring white point guard. He's not a traditional Chris Paul, John Stockton. No, he don't play like that. He play like the boys in the Rucker Park.
Like Steph Curry's doing now.
Right. Now.
But how come Steph Curry is allowed to play recklessly?
Because when Steph Curry first came into the league, the first coach that was on Golden State didn't let him score either.
Okay, that was, who was that?
I forget his name.
Okay. That was not Mark Jackson?
No, that was not Mark Jackson. It wasn't until Mark Jackson came that they allowed Steph Curry to be a scoring point guard. Mark Jackson is the reason that we see Steph Curry in the NBA the way we saw him in college.
Okay. So I just don't understand why Jimmer can't get that opportunity. I mean, obviously Jimmer can shoot.
Now, to prove my point, when they sent Jimmer to the D-League, right?
Okay.
He's playing on the Westchester Knicks.
Okay.
He's coming down, pulling up from the W of Westchester.
That's in the half court.
He's draining it from half court.
Come on, man.
Everybody's forgetting about how good Jimmer shoots the ball. They're saying he can't guard nobody. They saying the reason he ain't in the NBA, he ain't good. Well, and when he was on San Antonio, Greg Popovich wasn't letting him pull up from the S on the Spurs logo.
You're right.
Greg Popovich wasn't having it. Because Tim Duncan and Tony Parker are the superstars there. And Kawhi Leonard. Might I add,
okay.
The only person to drop over 40 points on Kawhi Leonard 2 times in basketball history is Jimmer Fredette. Not even the great LeBron James can drop 40 on Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I remember that game. San Diego State was ranked number 1 that year.
Yes, and that shit stopped real fast when Jimmer came to town.
It did. Nobody believed it, but he did.
That's right. So we're going to take some callers. Give us your take on Jimmer Fredette. And he just recently signed to the New York Knicks.
Oh, this is very exciting. I hope he gets a chance this time around.
Yes. We're going to take some callers on the Jimmer Fredette thing and see what they got to say about Jimmer being signed to the New York Knicks now to a 10-day contract, which is really, really good, might I add. Caller, tell us what you think about Jimmer on the New York Knicks now and his NBA career.
Well, first of all, it's a little too late for Jimmer Fredette for the New York Knicks. A little too late. They should have signed him to the Sixers. He would have been a lot better. He would have got more. He would get more playing time.
I agree.
Okay, he would get more playing time right now. He would be the star of the show. They need somebody to light up the stands to keep the players in their seats because they're not doing too good right now. And I want to say one more thing, not to take Jimmy Fredette out of the picture right now, but getting back to my team, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, my goodness. That's a train wreck of a team. I'm sorry.
It's going to be probably Ben Simmons, okay? He's coming out of LSU. Real good scoring machine, offensive, defensive, personified player. But rookies do not win games in the NBA. As we all know, we watch the NBA year after year, over and over again. The rookies come off the bench. They do their thing. They're scoring machines and everything. But veteran players are the reason why the NBA still exists. The veteran players help out the young kids. The veteran players take their teams to the playoff. The veteran players are the ones that win the championship. A rookie is a tough cookie in the NBA, but he has to put his time in order for him to win the big dance. Jimmy Fredette, getting back to the story, Sacramento should have played him when they had him. They should have played him. They should have played him. They should have played him really, really good. They should let him get 18, 12 minutes a game, give him the 14, 16-foot jump shot, let him shoot his threes when he wanted to shoot his threes. He's a good player and would have put a spark to Sacramento, their offense. They had Cousins out there. He could have threw alley-oops to Cousins.
Right. They even let go Isaiah Thomas and sent him to Phoenix, the Sacramento Kings.
You know, the NBA makes a lot of mistakes. The GMs and the agents, they make a lot of mistakes when they shift these players around. They keep trying to play monopoly and marketing with these players. You put good quality players on the wrong teams, and then the wrong team doesn't play the player, and the player winds up losing out, doesn't get enough playing time. A good, talented rookie or 2-year or 3-year guy winds up getting cut and winds up back on the street. I think it's very unfair. I don't care what color they are. White, black, green, orange, purple, or sky blue. It doesn't make a difference.
I think what Rashad...
You got to put these people where they belong. Jimmy Fredette coming to the Knicks right now, he's not going to get no playing time because it's all about Carmelo Anthony and Porzingis. They have a point guard on the team that's doing okay. Fredette is not going to be able to come in there and do anything because Carmelo's a ball hog and Porzingis doesn't want to play defense unless he's scoring. After he scores 15 to 16 points, then he starts playing defense.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's get to our next caller. Thank you. We appreciate that, Mike, on your take on the Knicks and Jimmy Fredette. John, what was you about to say?
No, I was going to say, because it seems to happen to white NBA players more often than...
Yeah, the African American. Yes, that's right. Very true. We have another caller on the line. Caller, what do you think about what I said earlier about the racism in the NBA or the white scoring point guards?
Well, I don't know if I agree on the racism of them being racist against the white point guard. That's a little rough.
Well, not just white. Anything besides black,
like Jeremy Lin.
Yes. Now, did you hear the points that I made? I did hear your points. Do you agree with them points, or you think that just happened coincidentally?
I mean, you do have some valid points, but I mean, at the same time, you know, some of them you don't know what happened behind the scenes with these certain players. I think the situation with Jimmy Fredette, I just think he's been on the wrong team. He's an awesome player.
You don't,
and I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, but I think Jimmy Fredette is the Tim Tebow of the NBA.
Hold on. Let's not jump to two. Don't get me started.
One at a time only. One at a time.
Yes. Now,
I'm just saying.
Now, listen.
Tim Tebow of the NBA, I disagree with that. Jimmer can shoot.
But check it out, Rich.
And Tim Tebow can play.
But Rich.
Tim Tebow was as good in college as Jimmer.
But hold on. We gonna get to that. But Rich, you don't think all of the teams Jimmer went to, it's been a superstar that's been African American on that team. Even with him going to the Knicks, the superstar is African American. Doesn't bode well for Jimmer.
Yeah, I agree.
You see what I'm saying? That's why
it makes it a lot harder for him to get a starting spot, considering his competition, not considering
but see, it's not even. No, it's not even the starting job. It's the who's shooting the ball job. See, like, if you notice the NBA, whoever's a superstar, right, on any NBA team, John, you could probably attest to this.
Right.
Whoever's a superstar on the NBA roster normally has the ball in his hand, is doing most of the shooting. Am I right?
Well,
right.
Yeah, that's normal.
And Jimmer Fredette is a superstar on any D League team that
but all right, but listen, but I'm talking about in terms of the role that they play on the court. All right, like, I give you an example. Like, all right, James Harden's not a point guard. Would y'all agree? He's not the point guard.
He's like a point guard.
But hold on. He operates like the point guard because the ball is predominantly always in his hand. Is he or is he not the leading scorer on that Houston Rockets team?
Of course.
Okay.
Jimmer Fredette would be a awesome 2 for that team.
Wait. But Jimmer's game is not a 2. Jimmer needs the ball in his hand to be a scoring point guard. You see what I'm saying?
Jimmer's not a point guard.
He is a point guard. He's a scoring point guard. It's only one system that translates like it did in college to what he did, and that's with Mike D'Antoni. All of Mike D'Antoni's teams, the leading scorer or the person who scores the most has been the point guard. It's been like that with Steve Nash, Jeremy Lin. No matter what team he's coached.
Where is he coaching
Steve Nash
now?
was a great passer too.
Also,
that's why Steve Nash is
but
great, 'cause he can shoot
but also
and he can pass.
but the common thing that Jimmer, Jeremy Lin, and Steve Nash has, they all score. And then with D'Antoni, he never had an offense when the point guard is just the passer. The point guard has to be able to score. You remember Leandro Barbosa? When he was with Mike D'Antoni, he was dropping 20 points a game.
True.
Now what is he doing? He's not 20 points a game with Golden State.
Nah.
He's old.
No, he's
like
lucky to see
30-something.
2 minutes in the game.
Yes.
He's like 30-something, and he's little.
But
the league is so big now, and that's Jimmer Fredette's issue, is that the league is so big. He can't stick Westbrook. He can't stick LeBron.
That's not Jimmer's issue. Jimmer's issue, for Jimmer to be effective, is for him to score. Wouldn't you agree, John?
I agree 100%. They should give him a green light when he has the ball.
Right.
Because he has proven and he can score. He can
Right.
drop 40.
Right.
50 on Kawhi Leonard.
That's
which is
why-
unbelievable.
Right. That's
We're talking
why
about Kawhi Leonard here.
35 in the All-Star game.
Yes. That's why I agree with Mike. It ain't no
37,
superstars.
actually.
It ain't no superstars on the Sixers. So he would be given the green light to go ahead and shoot the rock.
Yeah, but that's not what Jimmer needs. If that's the case,
That is what he needs. That's his game. That's his game.
Go to a team like the Houston Rockets.
No.
He can actually help out.
No,
He can help
he
them
can't. He
or-
can't
or
be on the.
He can help out.
Listen,
the New Orleans.
listen.
Pelicans
He
if they
can't.
need
He
a
was on
player.
New Orleans. New Orleans is the same thing. All of the black players. All of the black players that superstars need the ball in their hand. This is why the NBA's hurting now. If you remember back in the good era of the NBA, back when Jordan, Reggie Miller, and all of those guys, right? Jordan didn't need the ball in his hand to be effective. Jordan can go to the post and call for the ball. If you watch,
started that ball hog shit. Man.
No. You missing what I'm saying. Jordan didn't have to bring the ball up the court. If you watch the NBA now, all of the black superstars bring the ball up the court and at the top of the key with the ball. James Harden, LeBron James, who I'm missing?
Steph Curry right now.
Curry, it's a forward, Kevin Durant. They can be big. They got the ball at the top of the key. This is not like Reggie Miller was the leading scorer of the Pacers back in the day, right? He played off the ball. He ran through screens and they passed the ball to him.
That's not Jimmer's style.
Jimmer needs the ball in his hand. Every team that he's went to had a black superstar on it who needs the ball in their hand, which means...
But Jimmer's not a star. He's just a great player. Jimmer's not Steph Curry.
He can never be a star if you don't let him shoot the rock. When Steph Curry came in the league, they didn't let him shoot the rock until Mark Jackson came.
But you guys are asking him to be Steph Curry. It's not.
No, we not asking him to be Steph Curry. We asking him to play his game. His game is a scoring point guard game.
Oh no, man. He's not big enough. That's his problem.
Wait a minute. He's 6'2", 6'3". What do you mean? If I'm right, that's the same height as Steph Curry or maybe even bigger.
That's an excuse.
That's an excuse.
You're right. I think he's a better shooter than Steph
The
Curry.
problem is he's keep being on a team with a black superstar.
So let me ask you straight up, right? Let me ask you straight up. Hold on. Do you think Steph Curry is a better shooter than Jimmer?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
I mean, Jimmer's been in the league A lot longer than Steph Curry has.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Steph came into the league first.
No.
Yes.
But
No.
Steph got all the chances.
Yeah, Steph's been in the league 5 or 6 years. Maybe even 7. I told you, before Mark Jackson got to Golden State, Steph was already on Golden State.
Then it wasn't more than a year apart. Anyway, the point is, Steph Curry has shot and made more shots than anybody in NBA history.
Yeah, but Jimmer didn't play.
So if you're saying, yeah, whose fault is that?
It's
If
not
you're saying-
Jimmer's. It's
You're
the
saying
coach.
Jimmer is better than Steph Curry. You're saying that Jimmer is better than like Bird. You're saying that Jimmer is better than Pete Maravich. You're saying that Jimmer is
No,
better than
Jimmer's identical to Pete Maravich from where they shoot from.
Ever won?
What you mean? He's won the scoring title in college basketball.
He won the Player of the Year.
Listen, the distance of what he shoots in college is the same distance of what he shoots in the NBA.
Even further.
He shoots beyond the three at half court. At half court is the same distance, no matter what NBA or what court you playing on. It's the same distance, right?
Listen, Rich, I used to disagree with Rush Life here, but he did drop 40 and 50 on Kawhi Leonard
2 times.
You're talking about college, man.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard, the best defender and off-the-ball defender in the NBA. Come on.
And Kawhi Leonard is a dominant player in the NBA.
All right, now let me ask you this.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. You said wait, hold on. You said we talking in college. So are you trying to tell me where half court is in college and where half court is in the NBA is different? Is that what you're telling me?
It's possible. It might be a little longer.
That's wrong. It's the same. So you trying to tell me Kawhi Leonard is picking up people at half court in the NBA, but he didn't do it in college?
How many championships?
No. All I need you to do is answer the question. Then we gonna get to that.
How many starting games does Kawhi have?
Wait, but Rich, you ain't answering the question.
Kawhi Leonard is possibly the best off-ball defender in the NBA.
It sounds like he's dodging the question.
I'm not dodging the question.
Okay, so is he picking up anybody at half court? Is he picking up people at half court?
Kawhi Leonard can pick up anybody at half court.
Oh, he tried to do that against LeBron. LeBron wasn't very effective.
Right. So now, when they see Jimmer come up the court and they're standing at the 3-point line, and he pulls up from the S on the spur, the logo, what is it? And it go, huh?
He can't do it all the time.
Wait. He's done it consistently through his career.
Why are we talking about him taking that shot? Let's talk about him going in.
That's his patented shot. That's his patented shot. What do you mean? That's just like taking Mike's fade away from him. That's Mike's patented move.
How many of those did we see Steph Curry hit this weekend at the All-Star game?
I ain't see him pull up from the where they was playing in Toronto. I ain't see him pull up from the T.
He hit 5 of them.
From the T?
Shots this weekend.
Wait. He pulled up from the T? Wait. Did he pull up from the T of Toronto?
After dribbling and some and one shit and turned around and hit it.
Wait, Rich. Did he pull up from the T?
Game. You look it up and you can YouTube it. He ended the All-Star game with a half-court shot.
All right. How many of those did he hit?
He hit 5 that weekend.
Now you telling me Jimmer can't hit 5?
I'm telling you that I haven't seen Jimmer hit 5 in a big game such as the All-Star NBA.
He just hit it in the All-Star to D-League. He ain't playing the All-Star to NBA. The fans vote people in. You don't get in the NBA All-Star because you good. You get in because the fans vote you in. Kobe was starting in the NBA All-Star, and Kobe's having the worst season of his basketball life. He played
any season that Jimmer Fredet's ever had.
He played better biddy basketball as a kid than he's playing right now in the NBA.
And it's still better than any season that Jimmer Fredette.
But wait a minute. The fans ain't voting for Jimmer. The NBA is about branding. Jimmer doesn't have a brand, so he wouldn't be in the All-Star game. Every player that's in the All-Star game has a brand. They're not in it because they're good. They're in it because of their marketing. Selling jerseys.
They're not in it because they're good. It was the best of the best. You can't sit there
Listen.
and not-
Jeremy Lin came in the game and dropped 38 on Kobe Bean Bryant.
I remember that.
And
they didn't send him to the All-Star.
He took the NBA
by storm.
Yeah.
He had the highest selling jersey in the NBA, and they didn't send him to the All-Star.
Madison Square Garden was sold out. You can't get any tickets.
You know how big China is? What doesn't make him an all-star?
What you mean? The All-Star in the NBA should go off of what you do, not your fan support.
What you produce.
Right. He dropped 38 on Kobe Bryant.
That was one game.
What you mean? He did it. What was that? A 2-week span? He was going crazy.
But all of a sudden, his game went away because who came back?
Carmelo.
Carmelo.
Matter of fact, this season he dropped 24 on LeBron, and Charlotte Hornets beat the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ooh.
Kemba Walker was hurt, so Jeremy Lin was the starting point guard, and he beat the Cavaliers with Kyrie, with LeBron.
Why?
He whipped their ass.
How come Jeremy Lin doesn't get a chance in the NBA? I know he can play.
Because he's not black.
Oh, come on. Stop it.
I'm being
he's not black?
And viewers, if y'all haven't seen my face, I'm the darkest black guy you ever going to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood. I love black people,
And
but I'm
Asian.
being honest.
And
I
I'm
love
Asian.
all races. The NBA's racist for black people.
For black people, you mean for white?
Yes. Unless you go to the Dallas Mavericks, the Philadelphia 76ers, or the Boston Celtics, you can't shine if you're not black.
Just like Kevin Love, you mean?
Yeah, that's
Kevin
why
Love right now is in the back burner.
Yeah, he's definitely on the back burner.
This guy was putting up 26 and 15 back
What'd you say,
in Minnesota.
Rich?
So you got a good player with those teams you just mentioned.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he was putting up,
That's something for
26 and 15.
That's
in
something for
Minnesota.
our viewers to think about. Just watch it. All I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm right. All I'm saying is
That's what you're observing.
watch
Okay.
what I'm telling you. Watch. Go watch these teams that I'm talking about, and you just watch for yourself on what I'm saying.
It's a good point, but it also could be the other teams are the teams that the players want to go to. Who wants to be in Minnesota?
No.
Who wants
It's
Dallas?
it's not that. You want me to tell you something? Listen, I'll prove you one better. They used to talk about the college basketball dunk contest, right? They used to talk about it, who won it and who did this at the McDonald's game. Well, I shouldn't say the college basketball, but the McDonald's dunk contest that college sponsor, right?
Right.
Y'all know who won it last year?
That white guy.
That's right, from my Duke Blue Devils, Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
It didn't make front page of no paper.
Not even the back page.
Not even the back page.
Not even a tweet.
Nothing.
Not even
You
a
know
tweet.
why? Because Grayson Allen is a scoring point guard, and he's white. He's dunking like the brothers, and they shun upon that. You can't do the stuff that the brothers do, and you be a different race. They ain't gonna give you no props for that.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you.
If Grayson Allen started dabbing, man, all the white boys be dabbing right now.
No, but I'm not saying the white boys. I mean the powers that run the NBA. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Maybe it's too much for them.
Yes, they don't want that.
I'm talking about the white NBA players. Maybe it's them. Maybe it's not actually the league. Maybe it's them that has the race.
But they're good. They're good. They're out there doing what they doing the Rucker Park. Grayson Allen single-handedly won the dunk contest, and no one acknowledged it.
They might feel some type of way about being the only minority on the team, considering it's something they're not used to.
Well, they're just playing. They're not the ones promoting it.
Right. Exactly.
There should be promotion right behind
Now,
their,
I already know what's about to happen to Jimmer when he goes on the Knicks. He can kiss it goodbye because
definitely.
Carmelo is shooting the ball 40 times. Carmelo has the ball in his hand like he's the point guard. Carmelo has identity crisis. Carmelo thinks he's Kenny Anderson. Carmelo thinks he's Willis Reed. Wasn't he the point guard?
Willis Reed? Nah.
Who was the point guard?
a
Who was the
forward.
guy? What was his name? What was the point guard's name?
Joe Frazier. Oh, Frazier?
He thinks he's Frazier.
Oh, okay.
He forgot that he's a power forward. Or small forward. Carmelo, we just watch a Knicks game.
Carmelo is
to all
just
my viewers out there, do me a favor. Watch a Knicks game and then watch Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, he scored 60 points one game.
If I was a defensive player playing Carmelo Anthony, guarding him, I would never go for that dumb drive fake that he does.
Right.
Because I know he's going to pull up and shoot it.
No, he never drives.
He's never driving.
Carmelo is the Scottie Pippen.
No,
Scottie
don't
Pippen
disrespect
was
Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen was
Don't disrespect Scottie. Scottie Pippen can blow by you off the dribble.
Carmelo don't have a Michael Jordan. If Carmelo had a Michael Jordan,
No. Listen.
This is you gotta understand. Rich here is one of the biggest Carmelo Anthony apologist. I told him that Carmelo scored 60 points, 1 rebound, and 0 assists.
Wow.
1 game.
Wow.
And he said Carmelo had a great game.
Oh God! Listen.
He was trying to win.
Listen. Carmelo couldn't drive past you to the lane if he was in a Ferrari. Bottom line.
Stop it.
Carmelo goes to my house. He cooks some eggs. He kisses Lala. He changes his drawers, takes a shower, all on his way to the basket when he's driving. He does all those things as slow as he's moving. He's blowing past nobody.
Come on.
Are we watching the same NBA games that I'm watching?
Melo just came off of surgery.
Oh, now it's the surgery.
I told you, Rush Live. This guy is a Carmelo apologist. I told you that already.
Come on, he dropped a double-double the other night.
That's probably his first double-double in his career.
Look at his team. He has no help. If Carmelo Anthony, like I said, had a Michael Jordan or a LeBron James or a Kyrie Irving,
he wouldn't pass them the ball. If Carmelo Anthony had a Michael Jordan, LeBron James on the team, he wouldn't pass them the ball. Bottom line, he's shooting the rock. Carmelo Anthony reminds me of Kobe Bryant. He never seen a shot he don't like. You know what I'm saying? We lost Rich. Crickets again when we talk about Carmelo. We're going to find another caller. We're going to go to another caller and see what they think about Carmelo Anthony. What was you about to say, John?
No, before you take that call, I'm just saying that I'm just surprised that these callers have no clue, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we're giving them facts, and they just ignore the facts.
Ignore it. Totally ignore it. Like they oblivious to this nonsense. We got our caller. Keith Ward's on the line. Keith Ward, what do you think about the New York Knicks and what I had to say on the racism of the white scoring point guard?
Repeat that.
I said, what is your take on the racism of the white scoring point guard in the NBA? Or not just white, anything other than black?
I don't have an opinion on that one.
Do you notice it?
Not really, because I haven't really followed the NBA this year. So.
Yeah, you ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing. Do you know anything about?
He knows Jeremy Lin.
You know Jeremy Lin?
Yeah, I know who he is.
You remember the run that he had
when he was with the Knicks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why isn't he a number one option on any NBA team out there after he's proven himself?
Not even a number 2 option. He's riding the bench now.
It's more than scoring. He's got to defend.
But wait a minute.
He's playing the one, right?
Right.
Point guard, right?
Now you said it's more than scoring. So what has Melo done that's more than scoring?
Melo's not playing the one.
Oh man, all his excuses.
I can't believe all the answers that we're getting here, Rush Live.
Melo's
it just
not playing
doesn't
the one.
make
If
sense.
you're playing the one, you got to distribute. You know what I'm saying? You got to run the team.
Not if you a scoring point guard.
But Jeremy Lin did distribute.
But you trying to make it seem like
did
Lin
pass the ball.
is is like Stephen or like.
Why you got to say like Stephen? He did it before Steph. He dropped 38 on Kobe.
Okay, but you talking about scoring.
Right.
Steph gives you more than scoring.
But wait a minute. They beat Kobe in them that game.
He did dunk on Kobe too one time.
Game.
What you mean? He did it for 2 weeks.
They didn't play the Lakers for 2 weeks straight.
No, he was.
Kobe, okay.
No.
And like Kobe wasn't Dean Len up.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Kobe.
No, he wasn't.
Listen, I wish I had the clip. Before the game, they asked Kobe about Jeremy Lin. He was like, who?
Yeah,
right?
That was total disrespect.
After the game, he was like, I know who he is now. When he dunked on Kobe, he crossed Kobe over.
Yeah.
Kobe was D'ing him.
That's one game. So you saying Iverson crossed Jordan up. You saying Iverson's better than Jordan?
I didn't say Lin was better than Kobe. I said Lin was a scoring point guard, and the reason he's not given the opportunity to be a number one scoring option for a team is because he's not black. That's what I'm saying.
He's a bum.
Iverson was a scoring point guard, but he was black.
Okay.
Right. So it wasn't about if they better. It's about why the NBA
does. Saying the NBA is racist towards white scoring point guards?
Not just white, anything that's not black.
Okay, Bird.
Bird wasn't a point guard. Bird was a small forward.
I just asked you. I said point guard. You said no, anything that's not black. So I said Bird. They was racist against Bird?
Bird was not a point guard. I'm saying scoring point guard.
Okay, scoring point guard. It's not how many scoring point guards went to the NBA that was white. Can you name 5?
Not just white. Anything other than black.
Well, can you name 5 of them that's other than black that's worth mentioning?
Jimmer. White chocolate.
That's okay, and Lynn, that's 3.
Pistol Pete Maravich.
They was not racist against Pistol
Yeah,
Pete.
because the NBA was predominantly white back then.
So why bring it up?
No, I mean today. That's why I brought
today,
it.
Bring me name 5 since you've been watching basketball that's worth talking about.
Okay. Jimmer Fredette. Jeremy Lin. What's my man? Leandro. Wait. Leandro Barbosa. JJ Barea.
You're right. JJ can play.
They ain't get no burn.
I didn't say burn. You missing what I'm saying. You jumping across what I just said. The point is the NBA doesn't allow them to be the number one option on no team.
Well, they can't. Who is Barea going to get the ball over on that squad?
It's no superstar on that squad. He can now.
Now he can, but back then, who?
What you mean?
He was supposed to be the first option.
Yes, if he's proven himself.
He did. He was the main reason why they
when they beat LeBron's ass. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the main reasons of whipping LeBron's ass. No, not the Spurs. LeBron wasn't on the Spurs. LeBron was on the Heat. When they 4-0 LeBron, Dwayne Wade could not stick him.
Okay. I don't even know who they played that year.
I just told you. The Heat. Dwayne Wade.
LeBron was on the Heat.
Right. JJ Barea.
What team was
the Dallas Mavericks?
Okay. So he was the number 1 option over Dirk?
Keith, you said who was he gonna be number 1 over? I said, you said who had he done something against? He showed he can score on the Miami Heat.
I'm asking you. Said he never was given a chance to be a number 1 option
on another team.
On another team. What team could he have been another number 1 option on?
The Kings, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Philadelphia 76ers. The Boston Celtics.
He didn't play for them.
You asked me what team?
With the team that he was on. You can't talk about a team that he didn't play for.
But I'm only answering. I only answered the question you asked me.
The team that he was on.
Right.
What team that he played for that he could have been a number 1 option? Tell me. I would like to know.
Well, he was doing it on Miami when he was on Dallas. In that championship game, he was killing the Miami Heat. He had more points than Dirk.
He had more points than Dirk. Okay. But he's still not the number one option. Maybe because they shut Dirk down.
No, they didn't shut Dirk down. They ain't shut nobody down. Even Jason Terry lit them up.
And you telling me Berea's not better? I mean, Jason Terry's not better than Berea?
No, he's not now.
You talking now? I'm talking back then.
Okay, back then he wasn't either.
Come on, man, stop.
What you mean?
Stop.
What you mean?
Stop. Come on, man, stop.
He lit Dwayne Wade up. They 4-0'd the Miami Heat partly because of JJ Barea. Am I right, John?
There's a lot of hate in your voice here, Rush Life. I don't know why. I think because you really like Jimmer and you want Jimmer to get that chance. Am I correct?
We're not even going to talk about
Yes.
that.
Jimmer can pull up from the K on the Knicks court where Melo couldn't dream of doing.
So can Curry.
Curry? Oh, my God.
How did we get to Curry? How did we get back to Curry? If it wasn't, listen, I want to give a shout out to Mark Jackson. Because if it wasn't for Mark Jackson, Curry wouldn't be allowed to do the things that he's doing now. Because the first coach that he had didn't let him do none of these things until Mark Jackson came and allowed him to do it.
You know what? There are even NBA experts that says that Klay Thompson is actually a better shooter than Steph Curry.
That may be true. But I just think Mark Jackson don't get credit. They just give it all to Curry. Curry's good. But the first coach ain't allow him to do it, and everybody's forgetting his rookie year, and he ain't do nothing. They act like he just burst on the scene. He was scoring like that in college.
All right, we have a.
All right, we gonna come back to
here
this
on Facebook. It says, "How about Deron Williams?"
Oh, he's a bum. His career finished fast.
All right.
Well, let's take another Facebook comment.
All right, let's see. Let's scroll down.
What are they saying?
I'm not even going to say what Greg Williams said here.
I want to hear this nonsense.
Yeah, I don't want to hear this nonsense. All right, A. Pizarro still wants to talk about Kimbo Slice and that disaster of a fight that we just we just saw this weekend.
Tell Anthony to call in and give us his take on this Kimbo Dada 5,000 fight.
Anthony used to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, he told me that.
Right.
And
Anthony, if you're listening, call us up.
Yeah, he also used to we got Anthony on the line.
Right.
Anthony Pizarro, talk to us about this Kimbo Dada 5,000 fight. It was a horrible fight. Worse than the Pacquiao Mayweather fight.
Man, that is the worst fight I've ever seen in my life, man. I've seen amateurs fight way, way better than that. That was just garbage.
Garbage?
Garbage.
Who has this guy Dada 5,000 beat?
He beat a bunch of scrubs in his backyard in Miami. I tried to do some research on the dude before the fight, and they got a little documentary up on him on Netflix. I don't think it's on there now because he's such a scrub. But the dude is not an MMA fighter. I don't even think he can make it in the boxing world.
Right.
It's garbage. At least Kimbo can box a little bit.
Right.
This dude Dada is just a street brawler. Nothing wrong with street brawler.
He didn't look like he was a street brawler in that fight, though.
No, he looked like he was just throwing haymakers.
I think my grandma can slap harder than what Kimbo was throwing that night.
Yeah, that fight was extremely horrible. I think that was worse than Pacquiao Mayweather.
Ask him what he thinks about Ronda Rousey. Since he's an MMA
guy. Since you're an MMA guy, what is your take on Ronda Rousey coming on national TV crying about her losing the fight to Holly Holm and wanting to kill herself?
Well, first off, I want to say that I said it from the beginning that Ronda Rousey is overrated. She's very beatable, and I feel like because I have a little bit of insight because I trained with her for a little bit. So
You trained with Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, there was a point in time when she was training in Jersey, and I sparred with her a few times, and her stand-up game is weak.
Whoa. Whoa.
Now, this is news to me.
Whoa.
And even after it's been like six years since then, and her stand-up game is still weak.
Did he try? Did she try to break your arm or sit
I mean, her
or
judo,
roll you around?
Her judo is top class, but when it comes to standing and banging, she really can't. And the UFC, for her whole career that she's been in the UFC has been dodging anybody that was a legitimate stand-up fighter until Holly Holm. And Holly Holm is an outstanding kickboxer. So as soon as they announced that fight, I knew that she was going to get knocked.
Uh-huh.
So how come in Vegas, right? The odds in Vegas was like 20-1. It was not even close. Why is that?
Ant, you still there? I think we just lost Ant. But yeah, man.
He makes a good point there.
And he actually sparred with Ronda. That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, you could tell her stand-up game really was not that good. Especially, it could be not that good if you're fighting another MMA fighter.
Right.
But you cannot be not good against another former boxer.
You know what Ronda Rousey reminded me of?
Mm-hmm.
She reminded me of Ricky Hatton when he was fighting Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, yeah. I thought Manny Pacquiao killed him. Oh, we have another caller.
Okay.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Talk to us on Point of View.
What's going on, man? It's Oliver Diaz.
What's up, Oliver? Talk to us about this Ronda Rousey thing, and, you know, we're going to get back on the NBA topic, too.
What's going on, Rush? What's going on, John?
Hey, what's up?
Yo, man, you know what? I've told everybody 1,000 times. Ronda Rousey's dope, but she's overrated because women fighting in the MMA, it's still such a young concept. She was just the first beast to come out of the gate.
Right.
There haven't been enough contenders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's like all of
That's
a
a
sudden
valid
putting
point.
putting kung fu in the Olympics, and then the first dude who beats a few people, you just call him the best that ever lived. It's ridiculous. It just hasn't been around long enough for shorties to come in and really dominate the scene like that. You know, it's just the fact that there just ain't enough contenders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was only going to be a matter of time before somebody came in there who had the stuff and rocked her. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
She was just lucky enough to have been the first, to have opened the doors. She blew open the doors, lots of endorsements, looking like she's, you know, she's a semi-attractive chick. You know what I mean? So she's marketable as hell. But, you know, it was only a matter of time.
Right.
And she got rocked. She's not a phony, but she's not like the great hype that everybody made her out to be either.
That's a very, very good, valid point you made. Wouldn't you agree, John?
Well, I agree with him. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think her crying on national TV, you think that was real, or was it fake, or was it some type of publicity stunt now that she's into movies and stuff like that?
I don't know, man. You know what? I didn't see that interview or whatever where she cried or whatever like that. But I mean,
she said she wanted to.
Sense because the way she's been with all of these fighters that she's faced already, and how she be clowning all of them. You know what I mean? Now it's almost like she's trying to get the sympathy vote herself. I ain't about that. I ain't feeling it.
All right, I agree with you.
But you know what I mean? But you know, she's been, you know, she's been proving that she's not, you know, the end all be all when it comes to women fighters.
Right.
You know, hopefully we get a lot more women fighters in the UFC that can really show the goods.
All right. Now, what's your take on what I said is racism against the other minority scoring point guards, meaning not being black?
You know what? It's an interesting concept because it's something that most people probably don't think about, because for such a long time we've tried to overcome racism across all three sports throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Nobody ever thinks about it in vice versa.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now that the NBA and the NFL have become these sports that are predominantly dominated by blacks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's something that I never thought about, but I'm going to think about it, man. I'm going to start looking at it now.
Yeah, just pay attention to it.
Yeah, because, you know, it does kind of make sense. I can see it happening. I'm a Latino dude. I'm real big on baseball. I'm real big on the MLB. As a Dominican dude,
and I'm glad you just said that, because you Latino, so that's another race. Gravis Vasquez. They never gave him a fair shot at the point guard spot either.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not just people think I'm saying white, like just the white. It ain't just white because JJ Barea,
right,
he's not white.
Jeremy Lin as well.
Right.
Yeah.
It's anything other than black.
Right.
It's something to think about. Just watch it.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. It's something that I'm gonna
pay
look
attention
at now
to it.
because we're at a point now in across all sports where it's obviously nothing is dominated by just white people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to point out and to notice that there are other races out there that are playing these sports and that are excelling in these sports, and they deserve the same, I guess, amount of time to shine.
And I guess if you would translate it to another position, like in another sport, like I guess you can translate it to like wide receivers in NFL.
Right.
You see, when you go to the store, right, just notice the wide receiver jerseys that you see. It's going to be everybody's going to be black. You ain't going to see a Jordy. You ain't going to see a Jordy Nelson jersey.
Right.
You don't see
You ain't even going to see an Edelman jersey.
You're right. That's a good point.
I mean, for positions,
right?
Like you'll see white players. I'm not saying white.
Right.
I mean, at a certain position, minority, like anything other than black, is not going to be in that position.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why
what's funny,
I was upset with Hernandez doing what he did because for a minute it ain't going to be no Spanish type. Well, I guess that's false because Tony Gonzalez. But I know for wide receivers, it ain't nobody else that they selling.
Right.
That ain't if they ain't black, they ain't selling it.
You see the Megatron
what's funny, man?
jerseys and stuff like that.
When you look at baseball in the MLB, right? I'm a big Yankee fan.
Right.
Yankees all day. Right. And I remember talking to my pops about how when they never reached Robinson Cano.
Right.
And my pops was like, well, then they were never going to do that because, Robinson Cano's worth that Derek Jeter money.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't want to pay him that kind of dough, and I don't know if he was necessarily worth that kind of dough. And I had told my pops, but this was a young star who you could have built a team around.
Right.
And
exactly.
They could have made him the captain, the new captain, and built a team around him. And my pops was like, they were never going to make this dark-skinned, big-nosed Dominican dude the team captain because the Yankees aren't about putting black faces
as the face of the organization
and the face of the organization.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, I never thought about it like that.
Right.
But it's kind of, there's a part of me that feels like it's kind of true.
Right.
Derek Jeter was half black. Or is half black.
Yeah, he was the perfect model for the Yankees.
Well, he's not dark.
No.
But he doesn't look the part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I understand exactly what you're saying. And that's what I'm saying.
They like them apple pie paste.
Right.
All American looking dudes.
Right.
That they can stamp that thing on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they will hold on to those players for as long as they can. And they'll let them jokers, live long in the legacy of the sport of the team and all of that. But, but they're not quick to do it with the cats that look like Cano or, Big Poppy or something like that. Yeah. That's why my pops has a big love for Boston because Boston really embraced their darker.
Yeah. Now, it is
really excelled.
See, that's the one thing that I noticed. It's certain teams that don't care about it. Like that's what brings me back to the D'Antoni thing. If you remember, the Phoenix Suns was one of the first teams that was really diverse.
A lot of white players.
You had Steve Nash was from Canada. Barbosa was from Brazil or somewhere.
Something like that.
You know what I'm saying? You had Stoudemire. He was from, he's from America, but he was the black guy. Then you had the forwards. They was like Spanish or some stuff. It was a well-diverse team. But then when you do the majority of the teams, the kids is coming from the inner city and, the inner city, the urban areas. That's where the jerseys are selling. So you getting the LeBrons, you getting the Kobe's, the Allen Iversons and stuff like that. But you ain't seeing nobody from the Suns team hanging up nowhere back when D'Antoni was playing.
Yeah.
I mean, coaching. So you make a very valid point, Oliver.
Yeah, man. It's we're definitely getting cultured and we're definitely getting more, diversified across all these sports. But we still got some boundaries that we have to.
As people, as a nation. Yeah, because it ain't just. I don't want the people think it ain't just on the black people. It's racism happening to everybody's culture.
Oh yeah, across all cultures.
You see what I'm saying? All cultures.
And luckily, there's still some sports organizations that look past a lot of that.
Right.
And like you said, with D'Antoni and them. Like I feel sometimes with the Boston Red Sox or the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yes,
you know
that's
what I mean?
another
I feel
team.
like, you know what I mean? It's sometimes it's got to be about just the sport and the talent, and not necessarily about the face of it.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Because this person can either hit home runs or this person can dunk, this person cross over, this person got a sneaker. That's the face they choose.
Yeah, man. And you know, baseball is losing a lot of African American viewers. You know, because a lot of African Americans aren't playing the sport as much as they used to.
Right.
You know, but there's a lot of brown people who are coming up real hard on baseball. You know what I mean? Like I said, Puerto Rican cats, Dominican brothers. You know, now we're about to open up the gates of Cuba, and you're gonna see a whole bunch of real dark Cuban brothers coming in and playing the game, man. And these Cuban players are some of the best players in the world. You know what I'm saying? So you know, everybody's got to diversify, man.
Well, we appreciate you calling in, Don't
All right, gentlemen,
don't be
I'm listening.
shy.
I'm enjoying
We
it.
here every Sunday. Make sure you hit us up again.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.
Yo, that was a very informative,
Very good, very
intelligent
a very
calling.
thoughtful point of view there.
Yeah. But you know, I think we made some progress today with point of view.
I thought it was a great show overall.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so too. We're going to wrap this show up.
Right.
And we'll be back next Sunday.
Hold on. I'll give our audience our email here. So, folks, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can email us at pointofviewemail@gmail.com. That's pointofviewemail@gmail.com.
Thank you. See you next Sunday.